to do any of that and can't do it. And I learned about it from President Putin today. I was very angry about it.
Ukraine denies the allegations. There is dangerous weather in much of the country, especially in the northern tier, where a storm has dumped heavy snow. And as it moves northeast, high winds are moving in. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has more.
Zero visibility and ice caused accidents from Iowa to Michigan to Minnesota, where jackknifed tractor trailers line snowy highways. The message to drivers, stay off the roads.
We actually had a semi who stopped in the lane, in the traveled lane, because they were having difficulty seeing, which then caused a chain reaction accident.
Scott McFarland reports there will be a court hearing tomorrow for a man accused of planting pipe bombs in Washington the night before the Capitol riot.
So much of what the Department of Justice is arguing is what they say Brian Cole admitted during a post-arrest interrogation. They say he waived his Miranda rights and started talking to federal agents almost immediately. They say at first he denied being the Capitol Hill pipe bomber, but then acknowledged doing so and said that something just snapped in him, that he had grave concerns about the 2020 election results, that he was on Capitol Hill at that precious moment of January 5th, 2021 as part of a protest. But there's little else in this detention memo from the Department of Justice that speaks to motive.
On Wall Street, stocks finish lower. This is CBS News.
Through trusted relationships and national reach, CVS Health is uniquely positioned to simplify care. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 1059 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
4:03 Monday, the 29th day of December, almost the end of the year. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Lisa Fielding. We have flurries, 22 degrees at O'Hare. Cold northwest winds gusting at 30 miles an hour. Feels more like 6 below with that chilly wind. That is the story through tomorrow. The AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up at 4:15. But first at 4, city leaders in Chicago encouraging residents and others to take the CTA to this week's New Year's Eve festivities downtown, and they're pledging to step up their efforts to keep trains, buses, and platforms safe. WBBM political editor Jeff Buchholz reports from Emergency Management Headquarters in the West Loop.
Riding the CTA will once again be free starting at 10 p.m. New Year's Eve. Police Superintendent Larry Snelling says riders heading to and from New Year's parties will do so under the watchful eye of CPD officers.
We will have sufficient manpower on the CTA to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to keep riders safe.
He did not define sufficient, but the city's already pledged to increase the number of officers on the CTA. That follows a series of high-profile attacks, including last month's burning of a Blue Line rider that's drawn the attention of the Trump administration. Mayor Brandon Johnson says public safety is always his administration's top priority.
Washington does not dictate how we show up for the people of Chicago.
We're in the West Loop. Jeff Buchholz, News Radio 1059, WBBM.
Meantime, Kwanzaa celebrations continue this week at Malcolm X College on Chicago's West Side.
Community members came together in celebration of culture and tradition, with vendors filling Malcolm X College with colorful garments, food, music, and family in celebration of Kwanzaa. Imani Amos, co-founder of Shy Village, the organization that puts on the event each year, says the tradition brings generations of people together.
I've been coming here since I was a little kid, and I'm sure I'll be doing this until I'm an elder, like the elders that I have around me here.
The week-long Pan-African holiday focuses on 7 principles: unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith, explains Sydney Adams with Malcolm X.
Today's day is Ujima, which is cooperative economics, which we are supporting black businesses as well as some homemade, homegrown businesses.
Events are being held daily at Malcolm X through January 1st. Broker, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Kane County has launched a new alert system to bring fast, reliable information to residents during emergencies.
The new Kane County Public Safety Alert System offers expanded features, improved reliability, and more flexibility for users, according to the Kane County Office of Emergency Management. Officials are also rolling out a countywide sign-up campaign to ensure residents receive real-time notifications about emergencies like severe weather warnings, large-scale police activity, and evacuation orders. You can sign up online at the Kane County Emergency Management website. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Police in Chicago warning people about a string of burglaries last week targeting business in the Logan Square and Humboldt Park neighborhoods. They happened last Tuesday and yesterday in businesses on Division, Diversey, and North. Burglars broke in through the rear doors, breaking the windows, and they stole change machines and cash from registers and cash boxes. In one incident, they also stole the digital video recording system that filmed the break-in. Anyone with information is asked to call police. A search continuing for suspects involved in a deadly River North shooting, and now a reward offered to help investigate and find them.
Cook County Crime Stoppers is offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in the Sunday morning shooting, which left a 34-year-old man dead and 3 other men in their 30s and 40s in critical condition. According to Chicago police, around 2:35 a.m., 4 suspects approached the victims in the 400 block of North LaSalle near Hubbard Street and opened fire on them as they were getting into a car. After the shooting, police say the 4 suspects they're seeking fled the scene in another car. Mai Martinez, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A woman whose business has been a mainstay in Chicago and on the airwaves is being remembered.
You have probably seen the commercials on TV.
Hi, I'm Jewel Cadet. So many of my friends have asked me to help them with holiday gift ideas. Well, at Rogers & Howell's, we have
Jewel Cadet was the executive vice president and owner of Rogers & Howell's Jewelers, a family-owned and operated business in the Chicago area since 1910. Jewel Cadet has died at the age of 96. Cadet was more than just a business person. She was also an accomplished singer.
Rogers & Howell's, jewelry created for now and forever.
Yes, that's Jewel Cadet's voice from the commercials. She even released a couple of albums.
Give a gift of love from Rogers & Howell's Jewelers.
Terry Keschner, 105.9 WBBM.
4:08. Time now to check on the roads. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. Here's Neil Fiorito.
Well, it's another holiday week and another not-so-busy day on the roadways. Honestly, it's not too bad on the expressways and tollways. We will start with the tollways. We do have a crash on the Veterans on 355 northbound. So you're seeing a little bit of a delay passing the Reagan tollway. The other delay on the Tri-State southbound past Cermak to Ogden. We have a lot of lane splits between the Cermak toll and the Stevenson Expressway. Expressways, Eden's just slowing inbound at the Kennedy Junction. Your outbound ride is fine. On the Kennedy going out, 16 to Montrose, a 34-minute ride out to the airport. Heavy traffic from the Jane Byrne interchange to the Ohio feeder. You're looking good near the Wintrust mural and near North Avenue, and past that, you don't start to get heavy again until the Eden's out to Harlem Avenue. Again, 34 to the airport, 37 in from O'Hare into downtown. Eisenhower outbound, 24 to Manheim, 42 to drive out to I-90, 53 in, you're 33 in from Manheim. Traffic from St. Charles Road to the Tri-State and then from Manheim to Harlem. On the Stevenson outbound, 23 to the Tri-State, 31 to 355, that's it. 36 in from the Veterans Tollway. Southside Expressways at Dan Ryan slowing outbound from the Jane Byrne to before 18th and a backup from 59 to the Swit. 23 outbound, just 15 to drive in. I-57's okay. Bishop Ford outbound a little snug, passing the Dan Ryan to the Stony Island feeder. You saw the Lakeshore Drive traffic either way through Grand Park and getting to the stoplight at Chicago Avenue. No delays in the northwest suburbs on Route 53. Ditto in the southwest burbs along I-80. Nice and quiet in northwest Indiana. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report, 418, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All right, Neil, thank you for tonight. Windy and bitterly cold, a low of 11. Real feels dropping below 0 with the winds coming out of the northwest. Breezy and cold tomorrow. Sun may return. Yay, some snow and flurries, though, in the afternoon, a high 25. 22 now in O'Hare, only 20 in Aurora. We've got some mixed precipitation in Aurora. Cloudy in Aurora, weather in Waukegan. 20 in Wheeling. Northwest winds gusting at 30 miles an hour. Market watch in the Dow, S&P, and the NASDAQ all closed lower. It's 4:10.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800.
I know what it means to have a kid in the military, Ms. Zidor. Hope everybody's doing all right, and thank you for his service. Yeah, we had our son back this year. He was deployed last year. He was in a war zone. It was in the Middle East. So, yeah, we were, not only we were, you know, you miss them, but you're scared for them, especially on those types of deployments. So, and now he might have another deployment coming up. So, it's kind of, you know, it's good to have them, right, at this time. And I spending a lot of time with them. We just, like the other day, I watched the football game. By the way, SubX News on the spot reporting, 4:11 p.m., December 29, 2025. Thanks for tuning in. And like the other day, I watched the Bears game. We just watch TV or put on a TV and just talk, order a pizza, whatever we do. It's good to be with your children, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's good. Again, thank you for his service, you know. I don't know, I mean, that gets me to the subject of how do we do things, maybe we need to do compulsory military again or something, or like I was talking about this a few times, compulsory something. You know, we want to give kids a free college, do 2 years of service to the government, whether it's to City Hall, Water Department, County. We have so many governments here, boards of education, Army Corps of Engineers, the Park District, the National Park District. We have all of these governments, right? Put in your 2 years, you know what I mean? And you can get free college, period. You get a 4-year college for free. You do 2 years of service, right? And you get 2 years of college. I would say we do that. And two things happen. One, we can teach kids some stuff. Secondly, they might learn something they like. Lastly, right, we work together to fix our country. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, my kid loves the military. I mean, I was never a military guy. He got in, and I support him. He loves it. He has friends. He learned a lot of things. He's traveled. Like I said, he was in the Middle East last year. I mean, he's seen a lot of things. I mean, good or bad, but he's seen things. I have another friend of mine. Her son's in the Navy. That family, they've never traveled out of the United States. This guy's all over. He's into Asia. He's in Europe. He's in all kinds of places. You know what I mean? Yeah. What are you talking about? It's just, I'm not talking about forcing service. I'm saying you do 2 years of service, you can get free college, right? It's something good, and it creates something for everybody to be part of, right? I mean, you can make it. I'm not talking about compulsory service. I'm not saying that. I never said that. I said you do 2 years of service, you get free college, right? I mean, cutting costs on college sports. That's a private entity. Colleges are private unless it's a school, unless it's a university. I mean, it's a big business, college sports, right? I don't know. Why would you want to cut costs? I don't know. I mean, we want to make money, I guess, generate more money, right? Yeah, my kid's going on, what is he on? He's 18. My kid's on his 7th year. I think he did 7. He's now re-enlisted. He's going on his 8th year. So he's got 8 years in. I think unless something happens, he said he's probably going to make this a career. He's going to try to put 20 in, right? The military has good retirement benefits. It might not be a lot of money. A buddy of mine just retired. He worked at the school district, but he was in the military for about 20 years when he was younger. And he went in right when he got 18, and he retired. He got out when he was like 30 or 40, right? But now he's got insurance for his family. It's like $75. Because he did all his time, right? He never pulled his money out. He left all his retirement in there, and now he retired from the school board. He was a vocational teacher, taught carpentry like me, and it's good. And he got a good skill, right? I mean, that's something. It builds character. I think it builds character, and it's also. My kid said it this way: Americanism. Are we teaching Americanism anymore? Forget patriotism. Forget that, right? Because everybody has a different way of being patriotic. You know what I mean? You can like the flag, you can like the country, you can like the city, you can whatever it is. But what my kid told me once, and we were talking, goes, no one teaches Americanism anymore. It's different. Patriotism is different. He said Americanism. I said, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, what do we do to be Americans, right? How do we live here, right? As you know, he's got a biracial family. My wife's Asian. She's from Japan. My people are from Europe, and he's like the first guy born here in America, right? So he's like, yeah, no one teaches Americanism. We're Americans. That's what we should be teaching, how to be an American. Forget the patriotism. I'm a soldier or whatever. You don't have to agree with that, right? But I don't know, and maybe I'll have to talk with him again, and because he explained it to him, he explained it to me, and we had a big talk. He's a smart kid, smart man, and he said, yeah, we don't teach that. We don't teach how to be an American, right? What's our value system? What do we want to do? What's our future? That's what he was talking to me about, right? Here's a kid that, and we were having that discussion before did he come back already or not? I don't remember. So he's 25 and we're having that kind of a discussion, right? Which is great. Maybe I'm thinking about writing a paper or doing a video on that. Do we teach Americanism, right? Yeah, right? You see what I'm saying, Robert? Look, we all I see your name. I don't know where you come from. What are you? Background is Polish. I'm from Slovakia, so we're neighbors, right? We all come from somewhere. Italians, Irish, Chinese, Mexicans, right? Venezuelans, Canadians, I don't care, British, I don't know, whoever came here, Pilgrims, right? Before the Pilgrims, the Dutch, right? So we all come from somewhere. We all come from somewhere, all of us. The Africans who were forced to come here on slave ships, right? Everyone's here. Okay, so we're all here now, whatever. Muslims, Christians, whatever, Jews, we're all here now, right? Well, what does it mean to be an American? What is Americanism? What does it mean to be an American, one? And then what is Americanism? What is it? What do we do here? We're not pure capitalists, right? Because we have Social Security, we have free schooling, right? Think about it. You know, we talk about, well, we're anti this and we're anti-socialist and we're anti-communist. Well, we have free schooling until 18. It's compulsory in Chicago. It's compulsory. If you go, my father-in-law in Japan, it's not free there in school. Japan is not free school there over there. I don't think it's free maybe until like high school. That's it. Then you got to pay or whatever. You get grants or money, but yeah, it's not free over there. In many other countries, it's not free. So we can argue, well, yeah, we're this and that, but we're Americans. We have a new way of living here, right? We believe in education. We believe in equality and everything. There's countries where they still have the caste system. One of the reasons my wife came to America is because of the way they treated women there. When she grew up, it wasn't equal. She had a college degree, and there was guys without college degrees that were making more than her at the job where she worked. And she knew some way. It's not basically the piece of paper, but she knew more. But because of the way it's set up there, it was. I mean, we're talking 30 plus years ago. She felt couldn't get ahead, right? And there's other countries. I don't know if India is, because I've never been there, and other societies where the caste system and discrimination, if you want to call it that, is legal, right? Look at Afghanistan. Girls can't go to school. Until recently, in Saudi Arabia, women couldn't drive. Think about it. Can anybody here think about it, that we're talking about this Americanism? Think about that a woman wouldn't be able to drive, or a girl can't go to school. Yeah, we came out of the civil rights. We had different water faucets, black and white. We had that, I guess. I mean, I didn't grow up in that time. I was born in 68, so I don't know about that stuff. But still, you know, I guess the idea that I'm trying to get to is, our country is different. It's not like any other country. You know what I mean? And we all have roots somewhere. We all do. We all have roots. That's a fact. We all come from somewhere. Whether you're the I'm an original American. These guys not there talking about being the original Americans. Yeah, whatever, bro. Everybody came from somewhere, including the Indians and including them. The original people were Asians coming from the Bering Strait and white people coming from the Nords. The Nords came here, right? From the north, they came from each side, right? So, you know, we can say whatever we want, but we're all immigrants in this society, right? So I think the idea has to be is, how do we get back to teaching that, right? Because think about it. We think it was bad now, right? Or is bad now. But think about 100 years ago when all those people came during the what was it called? The Industrial Revolution, when they built the stockyards, when they built the St. Lawrence Canal, when they built the Empire State Building, when they built the railroads, or the 49ers, the ones that were doing the gold out in California, or the ones that went over the Rocky Mountains. All of those people are the ones that went into Texas and were doing all that fighting, or the ones that were in the swamps. Well, Florida was Spanish, Louisiana was French, Texas was Mexican, the West was Spanish, right? North of there was Russians, Alaska was Russian, the East Coast, that was British and Dutch, right? So if we think about all the mix of this, and then we had these guys coming in the Industrial Revolution, and I don't think we had TV in that time. We basically had just print paper, right, and books. Maybe we had Morse code and some radio. I don't know when radio started. What 1900s maybe? I don't think it was before that widespread mass radio. So how did we teach? How did they teach? And I have some of this, and I did some studies in it. How did we teach people to be American, right? Americanism. Again, it's different than patriotism, right? How did we teach that, right? How do we teach things, right? Well, Pledge of Allegiance, Star-Spangled Banner, breakfast. I was talking to this with my wife. Eating breakfast, eating lunch, eating dinner, trying to have a family, going to work. It's what you just said, Robert, right? It's something that we don't do anymore. Why? Because it's bad? I'm not trying not to swear because we're on a holiday. I was just about to say a cuss word just now. This is my country. This is where my kids are. Maybe I came from another place. Maybe my parents came from another place. For sure, my grandparents never been here. So what? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. And then to say other places are better or other things are better? No, there ain't. There is no other country like America. There is none. There is no other country where people want to go to. People don't want to go to China. Some do. Maybe you're older. My dad likes China. He goes there. He says, yeah, I like it. Because he's older and there's a lot of young workers and it's clean and it's like industrial over there, right? He likes it. But let's check. Is there more Americans going to China, or is there more Chinese coming to America? In most cases, more people come to our country than go to other countries, right? Maybe to Mexico, retirees, maybe some Canadians. I don't know. We go to Canada. I don't know. But I think I can. Maybe I'll put it into my little Google whatever thing here. I'll throw it right into the. I'll put it into the computer, right? I'll ask the question. We'll do a simple Google check, right? Let's see this. How do you do this here? Let's see this. Let me try this. What country has the most immigration coming into it? The USA. Oh no. While the USA is home to the largest number of immigrants, dozens of countries, including Germany, have a larger proportion of immigrants in their populations. That don't make no sense. What is that? That's a stupid. They didn't answer that question. What that says about immigration? No, that's stupid. That's dumb. Let's try one more time, right? What country has the most immigrants coming into it over the last 100 years? AI, I don't know. The AI is okay, but it's kind of crappy sometimes. At 4:30, I'm going to put on the news, by the way. Yeah. Right, Dave? Yeah. And you did, and look, I'm going to be honest. My brother-in-law is from Mexico. He's from Jalisco, right? Most of my friends are Mexican, right? Straight from Mexico. I've been to Mexico. I've been there for more than tourism, right? I think most Mexicans come here to get away from certain things, and yeah, they send the money back and have farms there, and but they like it here because of the way it is here, right? And I'm not saying Mexico is bad or nothing, but there's a reason people come here. There's a reason people come from China. There's a look, what are we talking about, these Somali stuff now? The Somali fraudsters, all right? The Somalis scammers. There's a reason those Somalis are here. Because over there they hack them to death with machetes, right? There's a reason people from Afghanistan come here, right? There's a reason the Irish came here, because they were being starved by the British. There's a reason people come to our country. To have a better life. And it's exactly what Dave just said. And I said this the other day, I don't know if I should repeat it or not, but yeah, I'm not here to be third world, man. I see beggars on the streets, drug addicts everywhere, garbage on my streets, and nobody does nothing about it. We need to clean that stuff up. You can go over there and do that. This is the first thing I asked when I seen the Venezuelans, the migrants, because that's how I started this live feed 3 years ago. Like, why are the Venezuelans on the street corner smoking cigarettes and doing drugs and begging? You could do that in Venezuela. Why'd you come to Chicago to beg on a street corner and do drugs? That don't make no sense. That's silly. We don't need that. When did that happen? Why did you come to America to do drugs on a street corner? That's weird to me. Why would you do that? Or be a fraudster, a Somali fraudster, come here and steal from our government? And then what, I don't know what you're doing with the money. Are you sending it to Al-Shabaab or whatever you're doing, I get it. You can send money to the homeland. I understand that. People want their country to be better. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But why are you doing that? Don't you want where you came to be better? Don't you want... You're leaving Somalia, where they hack people with hatchets over there. Where women don't have rights, where you starve to death, right? Isn't that where they have to starve? That wasn't that the 80s? Wasn't that what was that? The World Hunger thing? Didn't we have all those concerts in those times? Feed the World? Didn't we have that? Wasn't that Somalia and Ethiopia from that area? They were starved. They can't even feed themselves over there. They starve. Their citizens starve. They die. They don't have food. Then you come here, I get it. You want to send some money back there? Okay, cool. But why are you stealing from here? Why do you want to destroy the society that gave you a place to come to? I have no clue what that's about. I can't even think that way. I get it. I mean, I get it. People do their things, good and bad, criminals and all that. We have good habits, bad habits, whatever it may be. But that's bizarre behavior. That you come here, it's what Dave just said. Hey, what's up, Brian? It's what Dave just said. You come here and you bring that, I was just going to swear again, Dave, and I'm going to try not to. You bring that junk here, right? I was going to say the other word, right? You kind of get what I'm saying. Well, why would you do that? Don't you want to be better? Don't you want a train system? Don't you want clean water? Don't you want food? Clean food? Don't you want to be able to drive like I just did? Down the road without getting in Mexico, that's what they do to you. The cartels and even corrupt police, they stop you on the road and you have to pay them to get through or they kill you. tolls. They do that in Africa, in some parts of Asia. It's the Middle East, for sure. You can't go neighborhood to neighborhood without them getting you. All right, 4:30, we're going to listen to some news.
Christmas tree lighting last month is still fresh in everyone's minds.
Those acts of violence and terror that have disrupted our city and, quite frankly, set our city back, it's not only upsetting, but it enhances our determination to continue to get it right. I've had extensive conversations with our superintendent around not just our presence, but how all of our departments have to work together.
Chicago police say there were two separate shootings downtown that night of the Christmas tree lighting. That was November 21st. One when there was a teen takeover in the downtown area, including one shooting that killed a teenager and another right outside the Chicago theater in which 7 teenagers were injured.
What we're ultimately saying is to parents, know where your children are. That's the most important thing. And if they are under the age of 18 and they are out past 10 p.m. without an adult, we're going to obviously have to hold those individuals accountable.
At least the Chicago police say they will be enforcing the city curfew, which is 10 p.m. for people ages 12 to 17 without a parent or adult, 8:30 p.m. for anyone under the age of 12 without a parent or adult.
Okay, so there is a curfew. What happens if young people violate the curfew? How's that going to be enforced?
Yeah, now parents can be fined up to $500, and there can also be community service requirements if you violate curfew for the parents. And Chicago Public Schools says kids can be referred to something called the Youth Intervention Pathways Program that helps young people build goals for school, employment, and life skills. So a big curfew.
All right, Terry, look out. The people who own liquor stores around Chicago are asking City Hall for more time to get in line with a shift in how alcohol taxes are collected. Here's WBBM political editor Jeff Buchholz at City Hall.
The new year represents an opportunity to start fresh, begin new traditions, and in the city of Chicago, the scheduled launch for a change in how the city collects taxes from liquor stores and other businesses that sell beer, wine, and spirits to be enjoyed at home. The budget approved by aldermen calls for the city to switch from a per-gallon tax on alcoholic beverages to a new tax on the sale price starting Thursday.
The January 1st effective date will be a debacle.
That's Pat Dorr. He represents liquor stores and other alcohol sellers in the city. He says because the city has not yet spelled out rules for computing the tax, the change will go over like a surprise shot of Malort. He's asking for at least a month to comply and says January is actually perfect for that.
It is traditionally the slowest month of the year for the beverage, alcohol, beer, wine, and spirits industry.
In part because of dry January. There's no comment yet from the city. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buchholz, News Radio 1059. WBBM.
In health news, people who are dealing with asthma may see some savings by the end of the week when a new state law takes effect, and it caps the cost of prescription inhalers.
A month's supply of a prescription inhaler will cost only $25 in the new year, thanks to a new state law that caps out-of-pocket costs. Illinois was one of a handful of states last year to pass such laws, and drug companies took note, with 3 voluntarily limiting copays at $35. The American Lung Association applauds the law, saying it will reduce the financial burden of inhalers and make the life-saving medications more accessible. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
134, now news from around the nation as President Trump welcomes Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to Mar-a-Lago. He warned Iran against reconstructing its nuclear program. He says the U.S. would have a strong retaliation if they do. In addition, the president told reporters that phase 2 of the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas could start picking up steam.
There has to be a disarmament, that disarm with Hamas. So one of the things we'll talk about, certainly, but there has to be a disarming of Hamas. Otherwise, very quick. Yeah.
Mr. Trump had insisted Tehran's nuclear capabilities were completely and fully obliterated after U.S. strikes on key nuclear enrichment sites in June, but Israeli officials have been quoted in local media expressing concern about Iran rebuilding its supply of long-range missiles capable of striking Israel. Meantime, more steps taken to try and advance a peace plan between Ukraine and Russia as President Trump hosted the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at Mar-a-Lago as well. Reporter Willie James Inman has the story from West Palm Beach.
The 20-point U.S. peace proposal has been changed with input from Ukraine after an initial draft was criticized for including much of the Russian point of view. President Putin's demand list includes Ukraine giving up the Donbas region, the country's industrial heartland. The Ukrainian leader said his nation cannot give up territory without a national referendum.
Because it's their land, the land not of one
ourselves. It's the land of our nation.
Zelensky also says he wants security guarantees from the West and a commitment to protect Ukraine's sovereignty.
The war in Ukraine began when Russia invaded the country nearly 4 years ago now. In other news, Turkey has been facing Islamic State attacks.
Turkey's interior minister says Islamic State militants have clashed with police in northwest Turkey, leaving 3 police officers and 6 militants dead, while at least 8 other police officers and a night guard were wounded. The minister explained the operation in Yalova province was one of many simultaneous raids carried out against IS suspects in 15 provinces across the country. Last week, the police launched many other raids, detaining militants who were allegedly planning attacks targeting Christmas and New Year celebrations. The group has carried out a series of deadly attacks in Turkey in recent years, including a shooting at an Istanbul nightclub during New Year celebrations on January 1, 2017, killing 39 people. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Consider it done with ABC. Our family's been available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for more than 65 years. ABC Plumbing, Sewer, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Book your appointment today at 4abc.com and consider it done.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know. Looks like they keep trying to keep this place clean here. But I see a bunch of guys hanging by the doors and in cars right now. This is a heavy-duty drug spot here, Roosevelt.
Sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Because the sheriffs are here. They did a big bust, 9 or 10 people, I think. We got to look up South Loop drug spot. They busted 9 or so people right here. And they've been arresting people around here all the time with guns and stuff.
During the Ford year-end event, qualify and get 0 financing for 60 months, plus Big Packy Web discounts on a huge selection of new Ford models. In Addison, the 7-Eleven on Army Trail and Roll Wing has gas for $2.69 a gallon. In Oak Forest, the Shell on 159th and Oak Park has gas for $2.59 a gallon. Looking ahead.
This is Carolina Garibay. Multiple people are facing charges after a teenager's gun went off during a struggle with police.
That's next, but first, 4:38. Traffic sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Here's Neil Fiorito.
We have some big delays in the Austin neighborhood because of some fire activity right around Central, just south of the Eisenhower Expressway. You can see a lot of smoke in that area. You want to avoid Central if you can, right near Roosevelt, basically between the Eisenhower and Roosevelt. You could use Laramie or Austin. Again, plumes of smoke could be seen pretty far. We're seeing delays on the Eisenhower because of it at Central on either side. Stop and go inbound from Manheim and outbound from Western to Central. So you're looking at about an hour to come in from I-90, going outbound 45 to the Jane Addams Tollway. Along the Eden's not bad. The Kennedy 30 out, 35 in. On the Stevenson outbound, 32 to 355, about the same coming in from the Veterans Tollway. Nothing major on the South Side Expressway. Some delays on the Ryan, 22 out, just 17 inbound. 57 the Ford doing okay. You saw the Lakeshore Drive traffic like usual through Grant Park and near the stoplight at Chicago Avenue. No major incidents on your tollways or on the roads in or out of Northwest Indiana. Let's keep it that way. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report, 448 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather. Still a few lingering flurries into the early part of tonight. It is going to turn partly cloudy, blustery, and bitterly cold. Low 11 tonight. AccuWeather real field temperatures dropping below 0. Breezy and cold tomorrow. Some sun will give way to clouds. And we'll have another round of some snow or flurries in the afternoon and evening with little or no accumulation. A high of 27. Cloudy, brisk, and cold Wednesday with some snow around in the afternoon and evening and a high near 30. 22 degrees at O'Hare right now, 23 at Midway, 24 in South Chicago, 24 at the lakefront, going down to 11 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
444 people facing charges after a teen's gun went off during a struggle with police on the southwest side.
Police say 2 17-year-old boys, a 17-year-old girl, and a 29-year-old are all facing charges following the incident, which happened shortly after 3:30 p.m. Saturday. This happened near 71st Street Street and Lawndale Avenue in the West Lawn neighborhood. Officers were arresting a 17-year-old driver after a woman called 911 on him for pointing a gun at her. During that arrest, a second 17-year-old boy ran off, and as officers tried to arrest him, a gun the teen was carrying discharged while concealed in his clothing. Police say no one was hit and no injuries were reported. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Around the world, new U.S. funding being made available for UN aid programs.
The United States has announced a $2 billion pledge for UN humanitarian aid as President Donald Trump continues to slash U.S. foreign assistance funding. His administration is warning United Nations agencies to adapt, shrink, or die in a time of new financial realities. The money is a tiny fraction of what the U.S. has contributed in the past, but reflects what the administration believes is a generous amount that will maintain the United States' status as the world's largest humanitarian donor. The pledge creates an umbrella fund from which money will be doled out to individual agencies and priorities. The U.S. and other Western donors have cut billions in funding over the last year, prompting massive cuts in aid spending and jobs. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Taiwan's military forces are on high alert in response to China launching large-scale military operations around the island. Beijing says Taiwan is part of China and will eventually be reunited with the mainland, but Taipei says China's war games are a challenge to international law. BBC's China correspondent Stephen McDonald says a recent $10 billion arms sale by the U.S. to Taiwan may be of concern to Beijing.
These huge war games follow the biggest ever supply of weapons from the US to Taiwan a couple of weeks ago, and before that, Japan's Prime Minister saying that if mainland China ever moved to take Taiwan by force, she wouldn't rule out Japan being militarily involved.
Chinese officials say today that any attempt to stop the island's eventual reunification with the mainland is, in the foreign ministry's words, doomed to fail. 442.
From the small shops in Pilsen to the skyscrapers of Wacker Drive, business is the heartbeat of the Chicago area. I'm Rob Hart. WBBM's noon business hour is in the thick of it every
It's
weekday.
exactly what Dave says. You gotta go travel. And when you travel, you know what we have here. But that's what I don't get, Dave, if you're still listening. I don't get who these people are. They must be trafficked people. You gotta be a bizarre weirdo to come from a place that's messed up and not take care of this place. And then to become a fraudster on top of it? You're a fraudster stealing from the government? What is wrong with you? Look, I get it. I know people who send money overseas, Polish people, Hispanic people, Asian people, Africans. I know them all. You name it, I got that kind of friendships with people, right? But they all work hard. They all love America. Some like it more than others. Some say, yeah, I'm here for just this and that. But they work hard. They pay their bills. And they're not scam heads. You know what I'm talking about? A scam head. I don't get that. I don't get what's wrong with you when you come here and you're destroying this society. I really don't get it. I don't get it. That it doesn't make sense to me at all.
My throat.
It doesn't.
Throw it in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That fun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Straight Talk presents the math of more. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
Hi, I'm Jack Arnold from Arnold Electric.
And I'm Jack of all trades.
Look,
a lone wolf.
I sometimes mention this. Let's see what the comments are. I mentioned this. And thank you for your service, my brother, David. Thank you. Appreciate your service. It's like the Nazis and the fascists. and they try to resurrect and the white supremacists and all that. Yeah, we fought that war in World War II. I don't think you're gonna win. When you do that, people doing Nazi stuff. I don't even get that one. But I got all these things I want to talk about, but it's like, why would you wreck the place you're coming to? You know what I mean? And everybody knows, anyone who's traveled anywhere, and look, there's great countries out there. I've been to Japan. I love Japan. I love it. But guess what? I can't be a citizen. I can't. I even told my wife, I said, well, I'm married to you. Can I become a Japanese citizen? He goes, nope. They got a rule against it. She said, no, you can't. We can't. See, there is no other society that brings whoever in and lets you become part of America, because that's how we're set up. See, I think one of the things that I don't even know where we're at in history, but Japan, thousands of years old. China, thousands of years old. Europe, thousands of years old. Africa, tens of thousands of years. Africa is an old place, man. They go back to before ancient times, right? They're the original place, right? We all know that's where the life started, right? In Ethiopia and went into the Middle East, right? Mesopotamia, the Babylonians, and there's another one, not Syria. There's another word, I forget now. We get that. That's easy stuff, right? That's in a book. You can't cheat and lie about it. But the point is we're a young nation. We're a young hybrid society that has different people here. And I get it. We have good and bad. But why would you come and steal from the place? Steal from the place that gives you the freedom that you don't have in your place. That's, I guess, the way I wanted to say that. That way, right? Why would you do that? That don't even make sense. And that's why I came up. Did you hear me? I just said these people might be trafficked. It's like the migrants that I see on the corners. I've been documenting for 3 years. They don't look like they're begging. They're dropped. By the way, they're dropped off and picked up by cars. They're not from downtown. There's no people like that live downtown. So they're not from downtown. It's a money scheme. They're stealing. So again, my wife says this. My wife's an immigrant. She says this. She goes, why did you come here? To beg on a street? Why do you do that? My wife says this. Why do you, like I said about the Venezuelans doing drugs? Why are you from Guatemala or wherever you're from, and then you're sitting on a street corner with your kid begging for money? Why would you do that? That doesn't even make sense. That's stupid. That's illogical. It's like bizarre. And that's why I said they might be trafficked. It might be like the old Chinese. It might be like the old Irish. Because those are all indentured servants, right? And other peoples, right, that came here. You came, your what was it called? Your passage was paid. Your passage was paid, and then you had to pay it back. And maybe these beggars and these drug dealers and all of that, that's how they pay it back. But I don't know. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I think there has to be a better way to I mean, here. There's a bunch of homeless people that live out in that, stay on that sidewalk. Those are Americans. When the migrant shelter was a block away, the migrants had a hotel, and they don't have a hotel. Those are blacks mostly, sleeping on the sidewalk. You can say, hey, that's their fault, they're this or that. These guys ain't, some of them were on drugs before, but now it's kind of cleaned up. But why would we treat an illegal Venezuelan and give them a hotel, and we don't give these guys a hotel? I got videos of these guys trying to get into the hotel. They couldn't get in. That's happened at the Standard Club, which is right down the street. The Standard Club is right behind Harold Washington, right? We're going to pass it up. But that being said, how do migrants and how do illegals and how do these immigrants, how do they get welfare? What I thought, and I think that's how it happened with us when we came here. It happened how my wife came here. I don't know how anybody else's people came here. But you couldn't be on welfare when you came. How did we switch that that we're bringing people that are on welfare, right? How did that happen? Who made the decision that when we bring an immigrant or a migrant or whoever here, we give them welfare? How did that work? Aren't they supposed to work and help our country? I don't think you could do that in any other society besides not being a citizen. Now, my wife said they're starting to do that in Japan because they got an older population. So they're starting to give a little welfare there and they're having a little trouble. There's a whole video. They got some Muslim lady, because everybody knows tonkatsu, right? And ramen. It's made out of pork broth. She's complaining to the Japanese that they have pork in their soup, and they're like, yeah, that's what we got. She's making a whole discrimination complaint, and they're like, yeah, we don't have those laws here. We don't have anti-discrimination laws in Japan. You can discriminate in Japan. It's kind of legal. We're at First and Roosevelt. Yeah, I mean, do you get it? Do you get it, David? I get begging. I get that. I get begging. I even get stealing. I get drug dealing. I get all of those behaviors. Man, there ain't nobody down here. It's sad, but it's a little cold today. It's 29 degrees. You see, we're on State Street. By the way, let's say this clearly. We're on State Street. We're going north. It's 4:51 p.m. It's December 29th. It's Monday after the Christmas weekend. And now we're in between Christmas and New Year's, and there's no one here. Now, naturally, most of the offices are closed for the holidays, but there is no one here. There's no one here, because if you figure if you had the office closed, you got some vacation time, you would come downtown, but there's nothing to see downtown. There's no Marshall Field windows. There's no Carson Beer Scott windows. There's no nice shopping down here anymore. There's really nice gym shoe. There's a couple of gym shoe stores there. That's about it. But there's no Woolworths. There's no nothing here. How about, I think the easiest way is, let's stop saying certain words. It just has no class anymore. This is not my kind of town anymore. It's not that. It's not Let's Drive on LSD. All those songs and all the movies that were made of Chicago, even though the gangster movies of Chicago, we're not even close to that anymore. We might be a little bit about the shooting and the killing, but yeah, we're not even close to those times anymore. And look, I'm not into going backwards in time, and it's the same thing I'm talking about these immigrants and migrants. We need to start solving these problems. If they're immigrants and migrants and they're stealing, they need to be deported. Now, I don't know about this naturalization thing, because I'm naturalized, right? Where does that stop? Where do you say, hey, yeah, he's a citizen, but we don't like him because he did this? I got activism in my background. You can look me up. You can Google my name. I'm union organizer. I helped organize the strike in 2012 with the teachers union. I was a union rep. So where does that stop, right? Where does, okay, we don't like him, or we don't like her, or she said that, or he said that. You have to be careful when you start stripping people of citizenship. I don't know about that one. Put them in jail, maybe. I don't know, but stripping people of citizenship is citizenship. I don't think we should be doing that. That's a really slippery slope, because then you go back all the way back then and say, well, yeah, you were part, so what happened? Look, how about this? You were part of the South. Your family's a traitor. They lost their citizenship. Well, we're Americans. Well, no, you came from France, or you came from Spain, or you came from someplace, right? Jonestown, or wherever you came from. But so, since you were part of the Confederacy, you guys lose your citizenship. Yeah, that's not, I don't think we should go that way. That's my personal view. And maybe I'm biased because I'm a naturalized citizen. But yeah, that's a slippery slope now when you're stripping people of their citizenship. Now, maybe if they're overseas, you can ban them from coming back because they're enemy of the state. And maybe you can do stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think you should be stripping people of their citizenship, because again, you can make all kinds of excuses. This is what I say. And then we'll put on the 5 o'clock news when it comes on. This is what I say. It's like the statues, pulling down those statues. And I wrote this a few times. Oh, well, they're my enemy. Robert E. Lee and blah, 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 and Benning and all of these guys. My kid went through Fort Benning, by the way. And they changed the name. It's still Benning, but it's a different Benning now. Whatever. And this is what I say to those guys. Those are revisionists, right? They want to change history, control history. I said, what are you going to do 100 years from now when somebody gets elected, or there's a bunch of people, and I say, yeah, Martin Luther King had girlfriends. We shouldn't have statues from him. We shouldn't have a holiday from him. Let's tear down his statue. That'll never happen. I said, no, that's what you're doing now. You're doing that. You're tearing down statues of people you don't agree with. Columbus, that was put up by Italians. That's their hero. So now they're not in power, so you want to tear it down. So one day, you're not going to be in power. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So why don't you do this? If you don't like them or what they did or their statue, whatever, why don't you put up your statue? Why don't you build your building? Why don't you do your monument to them, right? You kind of get what I'm saying? Like, tearing down statues, tearing down buildings, that's juvenile stuff there. See, that's not Americanism. That's the point right there. That behavior is not Americanism. It's not. That's a foreign, traitorous, treasonous behavior. That's what they do in Iraq. That's what they do in Russia. They chop off the king's heads, right? They chop them up into little pieces. What they do with the king, Ivan, or whatever his name was over there, the one who was the last czar in Russia. They chopped up the body. Even the cat. They killed the cats, the dogs. They killed everybody. There was no one left. They chopped them up in little pieces and they spread the body parts so you couldn't even have a grave for them. They do that in some parts of Middle East. They do that stuff in Africa, whatever it is, so there's no memory of you. We don't do that. That's not Americanism. That's not what made America. America was made by everybody who's been here, including the Asians from the Bering Sea, including the Nords, the Vikings, and all of those people that came here, right? And the enslaved peoples from Africa, the indentured servants from Ireland and China. They all are. The real Americans are really African Americans or blacks. I don't even know if you should call them African Americans or blacks. You should call them Americans. They didn't have no choice. They were sold over there in Africa. Somebody sold them to somebody on the African continent. They were sold to some white dudes on a ship. They came here and they sold it to another person. I mean, I get they might have blood rights back in Africa, but they can trace it back that far. But you think about it, blacks are real Americans. There is nothing for them. I don't know why they call themselves African Americans. They're Americans. That's Americanism. They're here. That's them. Native Americans, they're Americans. They're here, right? They don't have no other homeland. That's what I'm saying. African Americans don't have another homeland. This is their homeland. This is where they're from, right? Like Native Americans, right? Maybe even some Mexicans, right? From the South, right? That where Texas is part of Mexico. You know, now they're saying that it's theirs again. So, hey, that's enough of my talking. Let's list some news. 5 o'clock.
Program after his meeting in Florida with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The latest on that from CBS News. In sports, Bulls take on the T-Wolves at home tonight. Dow, S&P, and the Nasdaq all close lower. Cold tonight, 22 degrees now at 5 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. President Trump met with Israel's Prime Minister at Mar-a-Lago today and issued a warning to Iran afterwards about rebuilding its nuclear program.
They're not using the sites that we obliterated, but they're using possibly different sites. We know exactly where they're going, what they're doing, and I hope they're not doing it because we don't want to waste the fuel on a B-2. It's a 37-hour trip both ways. I don't want to waste a lot of fuel.
Trump also discussed Gaza with Netanyahu in phase 2 of that deal. Ed O'Keefe has more.
Both leaders reiterating that Hamas has to move on disarming for the peace plan to continue. Remember, we've only been through phase 1. It's a 20-point plan. We got 19 steps to go, and the big hurdle facing them right now is the idea that Hamas starts turning in weapons, which has not begun in any real discernible way.
Russia today accused Ukraine of an attack on a residence of Vladimir Putin, a charge Ukraine denies. But in a phone call today, Trump said Putin informed him of what had happened. Security contributor Sam Vinograd.
Trump has said that Putin is focused on ending the war. No one agrees with that assessment other than President Trump himself. So I think Putin is the sticking point.
Meteorologist Andrew Kozak is tracking that major winter storm in much of the northern U.S.
We still have blizzard warnings for areas like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, 1 to 2 feet. The Great Lakes, we're looking at monster waves with winds gusting over 50 miles per hour. And we're going to be looking at lake effect snow for places like Erie, Buffalo, and Rochester.
CBS's Bradley Blackburn.
Parts of New York State could see more than a foot of snow this week. Here in New York City, the problem is a blanket of dense fog that rots skyscrapers and slowed air travel.
As you can tell, it's pretty windy out there right now.
At Chicago O'Hare, conditions brought some planes to a stop. There have been thousands of cancellations and delays nationwide over the last few days, with more expected this week.
Travel worries aside, they're gearing up for New Year's Eve in New York City. The confetti has been tested.
3, 2, 1, Happy New Year! Oh my golly! Look at that confetti go!
On the big night, nearly 3 tons of confetti will rain down, a world record. Pending sales of existing homes climbed more than expected last month, and analysts say holiday shopping topped last year's haul. But because of concerns, more Americans hit thrift stores and stuck to their shopping lists. On Wall Street, stocks were lower. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts.
So if you don't know, this is the chocolate factory, the Bloomer Chocolate Factory. This is where we were threatened to be killed over here. A drug dealer working with migrants said he's going to shoot me if he sees me again about 3 weeks ago. Now you see it's cleared out, right? And they started graffitiing it again, right there, right? We're going to see what this sign says. This site. See, it's weird. Look at this. So they actually have a sign here that says this is a site. So it means that the city actually is okayed it here. It says here, this site will be permanently closed on December 16th. All residents will need to relocate. All items remaining on this site are subject to disposal by the city. Location Hubbard between Des Plaines and Jefferson. This Tuesday, December 16, 2020, by 8:30 a.m. On Tuesday, December 16, outreach workers will be on site to assist with shelter options for all those interested. For connections to a shelter at any time, dial 311. Again, all items remaining at the above location as of 8:30 a.m. on December 16th will be discarded by the city. That's pretty wild there, isn't it? So the city actually acknowledged that this was some kind of illegal camp. That's wild there. Did you see that there? That's crazy. I'm gonna have to. Well, I got it recorded. Well, that's good. I just want to take a picture with my other camera. That's a pretty wild sign there. It basically acknowledges the city that this was an illegal camp. Strange, huh? Why would the city acknowledge that's liability, isn't it? December 29th, 2025, 5:05 p.m. What you're looking at is a sign from the city of Chicago closing down this encampment here by the Bloomer Chocolate Factory. It basically says, as of December 16th, this site is closed and all items will be removed. Shouldn't have happened before, but who are we to say? There you go. As you see, right? It's changed, right? It's cleaned out. Oh. Keep pushing the wrong button. Pretty wild there, huh? And right there, we were threatening to be shot by somebody right there. I lost the news here somewhere, right? That's what I'm looking for.
Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, if you're looking for a different way to ring in the new year, you might consider heading to Whiting, Indiana for their traditional pierogi drop. Andy Dybel is the organizer of the event. He says they expect about 1,500 people to come out for the New Year's countdown in the 10th year of the pierogi drop that's put on by the local Knights of Columbus.
Pull up and come in at 11:45 and watch it drop and go home if you'd like. If you want to come out for a little party, we got one inside the hall. We'll also have tents outside and be serving out there. If you're interested in that, we have food trucks on the street.
He says the celebration is scheduled to start at 8 p.m. on Wednesday out in the street with fireworks, live music, food, and drink inside the Knights of Columbus Hall across the street. Everyone planning on attending the 2026 Illinois State Fair needs to know what tickets for the event will be moving to digital. The change is announced today. Organizers say it will help serve visitors more efficiently, maintaining the warm atmosphere at the State Fair. Fairgoers are encouraged to download tickets before arriving at the fairgrounds or save them to their phone's mobile wallet. The fair will be August 13th to the 23rd. Always good to plan ahead, never too early, right? 5:08. Traffic and weather together on the 8s, and here's Neil Fiorito.
All right, Lisa, new hotspot now on the Kennedy inbound before Lawrence. A crash. 2 right lanes are blocked. You are stop and go from Cumberland. Appreciate your calls on the WBBM Mercedes-Benz of Hoffman Estates traffic tip line, 855-780 road. Keep those calls coming.
Crime and harm happened here the city was responsible for. You just seen the sign. I'm not making it up. Now it's cleaned out. I made a video about this, said this is how capitalism works, right? But they moved the guys. There's a few people, they're not down here. There's a bunch on Milwaukee. Sorry about that. So then in back of us is the chocolate factory. And I was saying they moved those guys somewhere else. And you know why they moved them, because the Bally's is in front of us. That's the Bally's Casino, right? They can go real quick, right? And that's why I said that's capitalism, right? Capitalism moves faster than anything else. That's the new Bally's Casino right there. It's 5:09 p.m. December 29, 2025. We just came from the Bloomer Chocolate Factory tent encampment that was dismantled December 16th, it said. And it's been cleared out, and that's one of the reasons right there, because you got a new casino going up here. They don't want the people coming to the casino to be harassed by drug addicts and criminals. But they're still technically around here. There was just a guy over here on Division in Milwaukee around here that was messing with somebody the other day over the weekend. So that's what you got going on here. They just built this. It's funny, this guy fixed this up. It wasn't fixed up a year ago. It was just fixed up only a few months ago. So he must have had the inside line that they were cleaning out the homeless guys. The homeless encampment is just a block north of here. It's been dismantled. But you see, this is like some electric car repair place now. You see that there? They know all the inside lines, and they know all of that stuff. And That's the old Salvation Army right there on this side. So they finally put up one of those there. And they got a dogs there. So for years I've been coming back here and none of that was boarded up like that. They didn't have those fancy ones there. But all of a sudden, when they're getting close to building or finishing up that Bally's, then they start really securing the area and pushing people up. It is what it is. That's what capitalism is. You know, hopefully something comes good out of all these areas and people make some good money, right? There you go.
When most teams ran the single wing offense to try and get receivers downfield, old friend Clark Shaughnessy convinced George Hallis to revive and update the old T formation, dismissed at the time as a gimmick. Shaughnessy taught his version to backup Bears
Bally's is cleaning out this area over here.
Chicago. Sherman taught it
about
to Sid
5:05 p.m. December 29, 2025.
In the 1940 NFL Championship game, running roughshod over the Redskins. They went to 4 straight title games, winning 3, the monsters of the Midway legacy born, and by 1953, the single wing was gone, the T, the foundation of modern football. Rick Gregg, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Hi, my name is Chris Lopez. I'm the production coordinator here at WBBM, and this year I'm going to do what I do every year. I'm going to watch those little stop-motion Christmas specials. Man, I love those. And maybe I'll spend some time with my friends and family, too. Have a happy holidays and have a great new year from all of us here at News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Ring in the new year with the best steak and lobster on the planet from Second City Prime Steak and Seafood. Second City Prime only sources the top 2% of USDA prime steak for their customers. It's not the same steak you find in the warehouse clubs and grocery chains. Owners Chris and Susie scour the globe and only source the top 2% of prime steak. Filet mignon, Japanese Wagyu, Australian Wagyu, bone-in ribeye, porterhouse, New York strip, and more. And then pair that with South African cold water lobster tails. Produced off the cold shores of South Africa, these lobster tails are one of the premier lobster tail species served around the world due to the sweet, succulent meat contained in the brilliant red-colored shell. This holiday season, enjoy some of the best steak and seafood.
You guys know they moved a bunch of guys over here. Let me show you.
Meal tomorrow. Orders of $200 or more.
They used to be the encampment by the chocolate factory, right? That's where now they're over here. You'll see it right here. There's guys hanging out right here. We might get threatened again right over here. I'm telling you, the migrants are part of the drug dealing, but they're not the masterminds, right? They work with I'm pretty sure they work with the black gangs mostly. They might work with some Hispanic gangs too. We don't know, but it's mostly in downtown. It's the black gangs that run downtown, and then the migrants are their runners downtown. It looks like, I think migrants are here. Oh man, it's messed up. Look at that. Look at that, how filthy it looks. This is Milwaukee Avenue. Look at that. That's filthy, isn't it? And that's a migrant. That's the guy who called the guy on me right there. We should maybe take a walk here, right? So we're gonna take a walk over here. Why not? We'll take a walk here. See what's going on out here.
As the night goes on, tomorrow some sunshine, maybe with clouds, it's going to be briskly cold. Maybe some snow on Friday afternoon.
We're going to park the car on the other side. How about that?
Sure, Craig, with more. Safety Kevin Byard's takeaway Happy Bears started the game with a pick six, then allowed 42 points and almost 500 yards.
We just didn't do a good enough job on defense, executing, not enough good communication, too many mistakes. But yeah, obviously still in a good situation. We'll probably see those guys down the road, but I'm confident we see them again. It'll be a different result, but up until now, right now, we just didn't play well enough, to beat these guys on the road.
The problem is, because they didn't play well enough, it's very possible that a postseason match with the Niners would happen on the road. If San Francisco beats Seattle Sunday, they'll have the team advantage all the way to the Super Bowl. If not, the teams very well might be here in Chicago.
SubX.News on the spot reporting here. We're at Milwaukee and Hubbard, and they just cleaned out that area over there, December 16th. That was the Bloomer Chocolate Factory, is right down the street there. It's a drug encampment tent there. And they seem to have moved everybody over here. You see that there? And you see that? They moved the mess all over here, right? See that there? See that there? See that? Hey, you fucked with me the other day, man. I won't forget that, my brother. Yeah, you know who you are. It's a Mondo there, right? See that there? There you go. So they moved from over there and they moved over here. Well, that's it's Milwaukee Avenue here. See that there? Yeah. And that's what's over here, right? Come on, right? See that mess? That's what you got there. Right? See that mess? Look at that. It's a mess, right? See that there? It's a rat infestation, man. That's what you got. So the city moved them over here, right? Right here, man. That's me. You fucked with me last time. I know who you are. Fucking drug dealer. There you go. That's the shit. That's what you got here. What's up, my brother? Yeah. Good seeing you, man. There you go. SubX.News. It's the migrant drug dealer right there. That guy right there. The asshole. He's the guy who called the guy that threatened me with a gun. That guy right there, him and his buddy. Two of them. I don't forget nobody that threatens me. Asshole. That's how they are. Drug dealer. Don't you see he's got nice clothes on?
Consider taking a vitamin D supplement if your doctor approves. Also, citrus fruits, like oranges, contain plenty of vitamin C. For more information, go to loyolamedicine.org.
So the city moved these guys from the abandoned Bloomer chocolate factory area. And now they're over here, and look at this nasty, filthy mess that's on Milwaukee Avenue by Hubbard. The city built this. The city did this. And the city does this. The city should be responsible for this, and they should be fined, and whoever's in charge of it should be put in jail. 5:15 p.m., December 29, 2025. Filthy.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-939-1441. That's 800-939-1441. So what are you watching these days? Streaming is taking up an ever bigger piece of the TV industry pie.
The city did that, got it?
Analysis of Nielsen data by Bloomberg finds that about 2/3 of the biggest hit shows in streaming are from Netflix. The Netflix share of overall U.S. streaming viewership is going down as free streaming services such as Roku, Tubi, and especially YouTube outgrow all paid competitors. Losses kick off Wall Street's final 3 sessions of the year. Dow down 249 today, NASDAQ off 119, S&P down 24. With only 2 more closing bells for Wall Street this year, analysts are making their predictions for next. And it's clear that after a 3-year rally, they're tired of being wrong about a big market pullback. All 21 market prediction pros at major firms surveyed by Bloomberg say we'll see gains for the market in 26. But that kind of confidence is a perfect scenario for contrarians to say, look out below. With business news at 23 and 53 from the Bloomberg Newsroom, Andrew O'Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
We've got a crash on the Kennedy causing some delays. We're going to find out all the details coming up from Neil and traffic next.
It's pretty much doing anything. I couldn't ride a bicycle. You don't have your life because you don't have your mobility.
So when Patrick heard about QC Kinetics and their non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain, no waiting, he called them immediately.
There's no downtime. There's no rehab. That was the tipping point for me. I didn't have to take any drugs. I didn't have to rehab.
Before considering surgery, check out QC Kinetics all-natural treatment options that restore and repair damaged joint tissue in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
If you have knee replacement surgery, and then the knee's not yours, and there's no guarantee that...
No! Dan, those are the dudes from the chocolate factory. We just showed you the sign that said the city is cleaning them out. So the city is the one who let them be there. So it's the city's liability. That's the point. That's why I spend that time on that sign and I read it to everybody. The city is the landlord. The city runs the sidewalks. The city has the liability. So now I'm gonna do something about it. I'm tired of this. What is that? That's a city sidewalk, Milwaukee Avenue. That ain't no underneath the bridge by an event. That's no place underneath an abandoned viaduct, right? That's in the middle of a main street. I knew we recorded it. And the city is doing it. The city is responsible for that. So we got to do something. 2026 is going to be a different year. SubX.News in 2025, we stabilized. We've done some crazy stuff the last few years. We've only been around since 2021. I started SubX after I got kicked out of Substance News. I've been reporting for 20 years. I started SubX.News on my own because I had a feeling something was going to happen. So SubX.News, as an entity, has been around only since 2021. Officially a trademark, I think we've been around, when did we get trademarked? 2 years ago now by the U.S. Patent Office or whatever you call that. We're a registered news agency through the federal government where we have a trademark and you have to prove that you're news agency. They won't just give it to you. You can't do that. It took me a year to get that. I actually sent them stuff. They said that don't count, and they rejected it. But here's what I'm trying to say is this. So we've been watching these guys, and we're done. We're finished. We're not doing what we used to do anymore. Write about it, complain about it. We're going to do what we used to do in the way old days. When I was with George, we used to wipe people out. We used to wipe people out. I put people in prison before. I did a lot of bad things to people when I did certain things. When I did my reporting for substance use, and especially when I worked at the teachers union, I harmed people's careers. I did things to people that they would never forget me for the rest of their lives. Not harmful, not physically harm, but financially and criminally. And now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go again. There's no more fight back news and all these. We're going to do something. We're going to take action, whatever it is. I haven't figured it out yet. But we can't have a city that leaves our streets like that. So you cleaned out one section and put them all there, right? Is that what just happened? That's what I just see? And you got some goon migrant there that threatened me before. He called some guys on me to shoot me. I know who that guy that's standing there is one of the migrants who called a dude that said he's going to shoot me. That guy right there that was standing there. I know who the hell. I can tell it, man. There ain't that many of these dudes around. It's pretty easy once you do this for a little while. So we're going to do something here. 2026 is going to be a different year. That's all I got to say. And I'm not taking nothing from nobody no more. That's it. We ain't doing that. Oh, I'm nice. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I apologize. I ain't apologizing for nothing no more. Forget that. You don't like what I do? Get out. Get out of my way. Get lost. Same thing on these broadcasts. Same thing. I'm not going to even tell you what we're doing with our platforms. Yeah, I'll tell you this. We're wiping people out. Left and right. Both sides. I ain't taking racism, Ku Klux Klan, white supremacist stuff, and I ain't doing Antifa, revolutionary, taking people's stuff either. We're not doing any one of those sides. You are either one of those, you're out. You're out. Just like the soup Nazi. Remember that guy on Seinfeld? You don't get free news. We provide a service. I don't ask nothing from anybody, from anyone. No one. I never do. If you want to send me some money, we got a Cash App. We got a Cash App on our Twitter account. You can send me some money for coffee. I just spent $900. I had to put in what did I just say? I had to put in an oil filter. All my oil was leaking all over, right? The month before, I put $2,000 into this car, right? That's how life is. I don't complain here. I'm telling you the facts. I don't tell you, I run 3 phones. I have 3 live feeds going some days. That's 3 different phones. Every month I pay those fees, right? Plus my internet. That's my fees. That's my problem. That's my company. That's my company. That's what I want to do. It's not your problem. But I'm going to say this. If you harm me, whether it's physically on the street, try to shoot me, threaten me, and you're a drug dealer, you're a criminal, porno doper, or you're on my page threatening me, insulting my viewers, playing games, that's not tolerated anymore. And I'm being nice now, but in 2026 we're not going to be nice. We're going to be more not nicer. How about that one? Is that a word? Can I make that word? More not nicer. Or you know what? Write that down, somebody. Dan, write this down. I'm going to be more not nicer. You know, I used to work with a grammar school teacher, Kathy Murray. She goes, yeah, that's a triple negative, bro. She's one of those. She's like, if you think of a grammar school teacher, that's who she was. She knew grammar. She knew reading. She knew how to talk. She taught kids how to be kids, normal people. Americanism, what we talked about. She was an American. She taught Americanism. So I would say, yeah. What did I just say? I don't even remember what I just said anymore. More not nicer. That's what I just said. She say, Kugler, what are you talking about? And she go, you got a PhD. You can't talk like that. I said, man, I can do whatever I want to. You understand that? And I take her out to lunch somewhere. I'm thinking about getting me a coffee. How about that? No burgers. I got food at home. I got actually teas. I could use a coffee. I want to get a little jacked up. But seriously about that stuff. I mean, we need to. I need to, for my company, I want to go to a next level next year. I got a lot of ideas. What are we going to get? Medium coffee? Yeah, why don't you give me a medium coffee, my brother?
Medium coffee, how many cream sugar?
No cream, no sugar, just black.
No sugar, black, okay?
Thank you, my brother.
Best one to do.
So that's what I'm thinking for next year. And I think all of us Americans should do that. And we need to start helping Trump out, man. I don't agree with him, and he's kind of whack job sometimes. But he's an old guy, man. How much?
$2.22. Okay, so you want a quarter pounder with cheese? The meal?
I gotta pay this lady. Hold on. Here you go. I got the change. That's what I was looking for. I got the 20 cents, right?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right, here, I got it here. Here's a quarter. Give the pennies to somebody else. There you go. Here. Oh, you got it? All right, sorry about that. Thank you. All right, what did I say? We're going to do what? Dan, you get it, right? You get it. What was my favorite saying with Kathy? I forget. What was it? Don't do nothing? I used to have this weird triple. I had a triple negative at one time. And she hated that. Hey, what's up, my brother? Good to see you, man. Hey, what's up? What's up? How was your Christmas? Good?
Great.
Are you gonna get crazy on New Year's?
Here? Oh no.
You're like me, getting older, right?
Here.
All right. You know, you need to take some time out, take a vacation. Yeah. Take it easy. Good to see you. Happy New Year if I don't see you, okay? What I say, we're not gonna be nice no more, right? I don't know what. Well, I'll get it off my recording. I don't remember half the stuff I say anymore. Oh man, that coffee smells good. That's a nice guy here that works here that runs this place. I like him. He runs a nice ship here. Problem is he had all the migrants over here, and he got a lot of drug addicts in this area, and they fight and ruin his store. But he's a really nice owner over here, or the manager that takes care of this place. I like that guy. Where's my wallet at? I don't want to lose my wallet, right? I'll get the recording. When I get the recording, I'll remember my triple negatives. I had a triple negative. I don't remember that one. What was it? What I used to tell Kathy? I ain't gonna do nothing better or something like that. I told her I made something up like that, and she's like, ah, blah, 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 blah. But that's all right. So I think the idea that I'm trying to get to is this. And this is what I said. And I don't feel sorry for Trump, but I know he's getting older. And I don't agree with a lot of his stuff. Some stuff, especially the censoring, I don't like that stuff. When he messes with newspapers and stuff, let the newspaper do whatever they want. If it's a capitalist system and a free market system, that'll take care of itself. You know what I mean? The free market will take care of the newspaper and all of that. You don't need to mess with it as the government. And what did I say earlier about the statues? Because if you do it, then the next person's going to do it. And then the next person's going to do it. And then the next person. You create this precedent. And then what are you going to say? You can't say nothing. Because then what's the first thing someone's going to say? Well, he did it, so I'm going to do it. So then don't do it. The best behavior is I think Trump said it. My success is my revenge. And that's what we got to work on. And I think we need to start being successful. Forget to make America great again. If you want to use that slogan, I don't care. But let's be successful. And look, are we going to build bridges and Hoover dams and go to the moon and all of that stuff like we did? You know what? That's our past. Why don't we do things better? better? Why don't we be more successful than we were? Forget being great again. I want to be better than great. You kind of get what I'm trying to say here? And then look, we get all these Somalis and we get all these Germans in Venezuela. I don't care. We get the best of those guys. We get the best Somali. We get the best Venezuelans. We get the best Germans. We get the best Myanmar guys. We get the best Afghanistan. We get the best people. That's what we should be doing. Not the bottom of the barrel. We should get the cream of the crop over here. And they don't behave, they don't listen, throw them out. Boom, get out. Just like a job. I was talking to my wife today. I feel like we're almost living in like Trump's like show. Remember The Apprentice? You're fired, get out of here. That's what I feel sometimes. But yeah, 2026 is going to be different for SubX News. We're gonna be like a steamroller. We're going forward with a lot of stuff. I've been promising a lot of papers, a lot of documents, and some investigations. I'm gonna probably go back to my advocacy, and I've been saying this for a little while. I'm waiting for a judgment for one of my cases. I'm suing the Board of Education for discrimination against me, and I'll talk to you more about that. It's about my past and my background. If I win, I'll talk about it. If I lose, I don't know. We'll see. I might talk about it even if I lose. We'll see. You know, going to court is a toss-up. We'll see how that goes. But I want to get back to what I used to do 20 years ago, advocacy, and working with people to solve problems. Whether I'm going to do lawsuits, I'm not a lawyer, but I can do my own lawsuits if I'm representing myself, and figure things out and start fighting. Like this garbage on Milwaukee Avenue, yeah, nah, that's no more. I want to file a nuisance complaint. That's what I want to do. I want to file a nuisance complaint tonight against the city of Chicago, and it's $500 a day fine because you are a nuisance. You are a nuisance that you allowed people to do that filth. I don't look, if they don't have a place to stay and they gotta stay in a tent, I get that. But you have filth there like that? You got filth? Did you see the filth? You got filth there. And forget my personal thing that I have to do with that. And I know what they did to me. Forget that. My person, I'm gonna remove my personality out of it. But that was filth. That's why I recorded it. What did I say? I'm not gonna be nice no more. That's it. I think all of us need to do that. That don't mean being mean. That don't mean being a P-R-I-C-K. I'm not talking about that. But maybe we be that old lady that used to be on our block and said, don't walk on my grass. Remember those days? We all grew up. If you grew up in Chicago, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're from Chicago, you grew up in Chicago, you know exactly what I'm saying. That one lady on the block that said, don't step on my grass. You remember them days. Everybody had one of them on their block. Everyone did. Everyone did. If you grew up in Chicago, you had one of them. You might have had multiple ones. But there was always that lady. You don't mess with her grass. Same thing. Don't mess with my city. Don't mess with the sidewalk. Clean it up. They just passed a $16 billion whatever budget, $17 billion budget. You put these guys there with those dirty, nasty tents and the garbage there. And you have a sign that says you're responsible. You moved them. So you moved them from one place to the other, so that creates liability. That's what I'm gonna try to build a liability case against the city of Chicago. I'm gonna try to enforce the nuisance law against the city of Chicago. That's what I'm gonna, because we have a nuisance law, right? And I'm gonna say, I want the reward, I want the money. I gotta make some money. I'm gonna check here because this place had some wood here before. I'm gonna check if they still got the wood here. I'm getting a little hyped up because I got all that coffee. I gotta rewind the tape and figure out what I said. Sometimes I make sayings and I don't remember them. I should have wrote it down, but I ain't got a pen right now. But whatever. That's why I do the recordings. So I think that's what we need to work on together. There's the bike. They're doing a lot of the bike. What do you call it? Organizing, where the guys are anti-bike lane. And look, I'm a biker. I've been a biker all my life. I think there should be designated bike lanes, but not next to cars. That's a mistake. You don't look, if you want to keep people safe, you don't put bikes next to cars. That's just silly. That doesn't even make sense. Who does that? Who puts a bicycle next to a car? That's so unsafe. I don't think this is the place, right? No, it must be in back of me. There's a nice place that had a bunch of nice wood out here. It might be that one up there. We'll take a little ride here. Then we'll go down. How about this? I don't want to say where I'm going because I don't want to get backdoored. I don't trust people, right? That migrant might say where I'm going. I might have, I have drug dealers watching my page. I have threats sent to me, right? I'm not going to say where I'm going to go. We're going to go and do it. Oh, yeah, there you go. I don't know if that's, do you think that's junk wood or not? But I need to take that. Oh, my. No, he had another one, a better one here. Oh, man. He had one with 2x8s. See that? That's nice there. Look at that. Man, you got to take that sucker apart. What is that? Is that 4x4s? Wow. Are those 2x2s? We're going to turn around and take a look. Do you see that wood there? I think I can turn around over here. Let me show. Oh, this is some kind of a warehouse. That's what it is. Remember the last time I was here, my thing was clicking, and that was my drive shaft. That's the other thing that was. Remember we were driving, it was right here where I found out remember it was clicking when I would make a, what was that, right? Was it a right hand turn? Was it clicking on the right hand or left hand? I don't remember. Well, it's my drive side. It's called the Rasputa joint. It's the U joint. It's not really a U joint. It's the joint between the drive shaft and the transfers case, and that one was bad. We have 4 of those, right? Because I have 2 drive shafts because it's a 4-wheel drive. Let me see. These are 4x4s here. I'm gonna have to cut those out. These are specially milled 4x4s. Look at that. What are you talking about? That's some good lumber there. See that? Oh wow, those are really clean 4x4s. Look at that. That's really clean lumber there. Yeah, you can build something out of that. Those are beautiful 4x4s there. That's beautiful lumber there. I'm gonna have to bring the minivan and cut that up. That's nice lumber there. That's really nice. All right, let me have a cup of coffee. Hey, what's up, Marietta? Oh, nothing. Oh, just at the new encampment over there on Milwaukee Avenue. They moved some of the tents over there, and I recognize one of the guys, I think, that threatened me. Well, he's not the guy that threatened me. He's the guy that called the guy that threatened me. He's a migrant drug dealer. He's over there. He was over there at the new, on Milwaukee Avenue tents over there, so. I think I'm ready to do something. How you doing, Marietta? How's your issues going over there? By the way, Marietta's a long-time viewer. If you want to talk about it, go ahead. I don't want to put your business out there, but she's got certain types of issues with people in where she lives too, so. We're all working on things, We're all trying to, and that's what I'm talking about, Marietta. And it's a hard balance because you don't want to get into trouble. See, and that's what I always talk about. And I hate to say it this way, and people, I'm not trying to cop out. Yeah, did you see that one? Did you see those nice 4x4s? Those were clean 4x4s. You don't get those anywhere else. Did you see those? Those were really clean 4x4s with rounded edges. Did you see that? They had rounded edges. That's nice lumber, man. That's milled. Those were milled 4x4s. Those were theirs because they had rounded edges. You usually do not get a 4x4 that has a rounded edge. Because 4x4s are used for what? Dimensional lumber, right? They're for structural work. They're not meant for finished work, but that looked like it's it's probably because of the shipping. They can't have the corner edges because they splinter, and they must have food or something like that. They shouldn't. If they're doing food, usually now they don't use wood anymore. So I know I work at the confectionery. I worked at Wrigley Jr. Company. They stopped using wood pallets because the splinters, right? You can't use wood in the pallet. That's where the plastic ones came from. So I've been talking to Marietta, and we got a program coming up next year. We're going to start working on a podcast. I'm going to spill the beans a little bit. So we're going to do that. We're going to do a traveling podcast. I just told you guys that I might do some advocacy, some legal advocacy. Again, I am not a lawyer, but I know how to do things. I've won a federal lawsuit, First Amendment lawsuit against the Board of Education, Chicago Public Schools. I've won labor cases. I've lost labor cases. I am the only person in the last recent history, maybe 10 to 30 years, maybe longer, that has had a citation, a finding against not just, oh yeah, here's a citation, you're done, but actually it wasn't adjudicated. It's the way this OSHA works against Chicago Public Schools. It's twice I did it in 20 years. I did one in about 2006, and I just did another one in, what was that, maybe 2019. So I got 2 of those on the record that I've done. There you go, you got drug tents right there, right? So I want to take the skills before I get too old and get too cranky, and I still know what I did. I mean, I have all those cases. I got the documents probably somewhere on a jump drive and all that, but I remember how I did them, and want to replicate that, but in other realms, whether it's housing discrimination, business discrimination, public nuisances. And here, let me tell you this. I am not going after those guys. Again, I'm going to take my personal stuff out of it, which I have personal stuff all over. But I'm not going after those homeless guys. That's not going in. And if you listen to a lot of my videos from the early on with the migrants, I don't know how I'm going to get that. I got tons of migrant videos. If you listen to my migrant videos, I really didn't go after the migrants. I went after the people that were running the shelters in the city. And like, why did it ever happen? See, we need to start holding people accountable. And yeah, if you're a criminal, you got to go to jail and pay the consequence. It's actually snowing. Everybody knows that, right? The flurries are coming. I get that. That's one thing, accountability. But there's people that are actually responsible for what's happening. Like when those migrants were hanging around on the corners, those are properties run by the city. We might go down to Halstead Street. I don't know if we get down there by the time. We're running on a 2-hour show already. So I can't go past 3 hours. So because of my transcription limitations. So that's kind of the plan for 2026. Gonna do a lot more. I think we've had a result. We're having a good. We have good. I don't know what you want to call it. We do stuff and things get fixed. Let's just say that. All right. Well, we've done things and things have changed. All right. But I guess what I want to do more, rather than just run around and take videos and say, "Oh, clean that garbage can," or "That's a criminal, put him in prison," blah blah blah. I want to do more like I did when I was at the union, and I did a little bit when I was at the school system. Do systemic change, and there's board rules. There's some contract articles that are still there that I helped negotiate. There's some that I lost. After I left the union, they took away some of the rights that I got from members, especially safety rights, because I was big on safety. But what I want to do in the next, for me now, the max is going to be 10 years. That'll put me to 67. I'll be about done by then. Who knows? We'll see. I want to do bigger systemic changes, where I learned how to do them at the teachers union. I did systemic changes there. I did systemic changes inside the school system. Now I want to do it on a bigger level at the city level. And I'm not talking about grandiose apartment buildings and bridges and whatever, all these things. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about things that help us as residents of Chicago have a better life. And not talking about easier life. I'm not talking about freebies. I'm not talking about give me's. I'm talking about stuff that makes our living better. And look, law and order, it's coming. And I've been saying this for weeks now to the gangbangers and the criminals listening to me. You need to shape up. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Got that? They're coming for every one of you doper, whatever you're doing, man, and you think you're getting away with it. One, you didn't get away with it. Secondly, they're coming for you. They're coming for you. Got that? And even if the Democrats win the next election, the presidential, they're still coming for you. Because the Democrats are already changing too. They know what they need to do. And if you listen to some Democratic platforms, they're already talking about law and order. And if you heard Brandon Johnson today, he even said law and order. He said law and order is on my mind all the time. He said it right now in the newscast. Well, listen to the 6 o'clock newscast. You can rehear him. He said it. It's on my mind every day. He didn't have to do that CTA stuff. He could have told Trump, go take a hike, right? But he do. He made a plan, and the plan sucks. After he made the plan, what? Somebody just got murdered on the train. After Brandon Johnson made the plan for the feds to keep CTA safe, a man was murdered on the train. Murdered. I don't even think they caught the guy that did it. And they just had somebody stabbed on the train the other day. And they just had a lady with a knife on a bus yesterday. Yeah, there was a person murdered on... You know, it's funny how they said, oh, that lady got burned alive, right? They didn't mention the guy was murdered on the train on the Pink Line last weekend. Not this weekend, the weekend before. You guys remember that one? I do. So, one thing is we're going to work on these issues. And I know there's a lot of people out there doing weird stuff. Oh man, they got that's where the girls do the twerking over there, man. They must have had a big fight, or maybe somebody OD'd. I don't know. Hopefully nobody got shot. Maybe I gotta turn on the radio, huh? I'll turn on the police radio. What we want to do is do some stuff. And it's not to maybe put a feather in my cap. Maybe, I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is this. I have a certain skill set. And I've had successes and I've had failures. But I think if we do things together, and there's a lot of people that listen here, and there's very smart people, a lot smarter than me. My own sons are smarter than me, which I'm glad for. If we work together, we can make Chicago into that city that we want it to be when we get older. I'm 57. This is the way I think sometimes. Right now, I'm at a certain age. Am I where I want to be? Nah, I wanted to be somewhere else, but things happen and you got to adjust. Now I'm back to where I'm at, where I can be where I'm at right now. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm okay. But now I'm thinking, okay, so in 10 years when I'm 67, and when I'm 77, and when I'm 87, what do I want to be? And also, what do I want Chicago to be like? And you're like, oh, yeah. I have a right to say that. I'm a resident. My family lives here. All my family lives in Chicago. Every one of them. From my sister and my brothers, to my own family, to my in-laws, to my mom and dad. So that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm thinking. What things can I do to help
European man fighting with the intoxicated stepfather who hit him.
Take it easy, Marietta.
Domestic related zone 13 district 9 station clear.
So that's my plan for 2026. I'm gonna drink some coffee. I'm talking too much. Try to basically what it is to take the skills I used to have, well, not I used to have, that I used in the school system and in the union, to see if I can do it on a citywide scale, right? So that's what I'm planning on doing. We'll see. And then I got to figure out how to make money too. I haven't figured that one out yet. I got some ideas, but that's a couple of other projects, right? I'm trying to do things that my plan for 2020.
83 Charlie. Can I get 2 event numbers for 79 red line up and lower? Units in 12 and citywide beginning at 10-1, 10-1 on Western and Madison. Madison and Western for 10-1. It's coming over, details to follow. CPD vehicles struck median. CFD is rolling, nothing further.
Let's go 10-1, Madison and Western.
Alright, 09144 and 09146. 09146. And if anybody's close by Western and Madison, we're getting a 10-1 over there.
Oh, let's go, let's go. Come on, don't mess up, computer. 10-1.
Alright, and 4680 Adam for info.
Come on, dude, are you serious?
Unison 3 in Citywide, we got a person with a gun, 6901 South Paxton. It's a male, black, male, Hispanic, pointing guns at each other outside the location. Male, black, wearing all black clothing. Male, Hispanic, green jacket, black pants.
Police squad in an accident. It sounds like they hit the median or something at Madison and Western.
You might be on secure frequency. What do you need, bro? I just wanted to confirm with him. So when you guys exit at Costner, I think you guys are going to have to go northbound, not southbound. So exit at Costner, go northbound to Cullum, then eastbound over to Blowout. Yeah, 10-4. That's northbound on Cullum. Okay. I thought so. I just want to make sure.
We're going to the 10-1. That means officer needs assistance. That's where we're heading into. A police officer just got in an accident.
4712. Alright, units responding to the 10-1 on Western Madison, 1225 on scene, giving a slowdown again. Take a slowdown, please, for the 10-1 on Western Madison, slow it down. 4712. Yeah, squad, I was going to say, slow it down on that 10-1 at Western and Madison. Alright, slow it down. Slow it down, Western and Madison, slow it down. Boy.
It's right in front of us.
7388 boy. Both squad, Jackson and Halsted. Sit, both sit. Both, Jackson and Halsted. 09187. 4735. 4735. 2289, good evening. Good evening. 4680, 10-4. 4600. 4600, 10-4. to the 10-1 on Madison and Western, a complete disregard. A complete disregard, please, for Madison and Western.
Four 735.
7387 Adam.
4712.
Alright, units responded to the 10-1 on Western Madison, 1225 vaccine, given a slowdown. Again, take a slowdown, please, for the 10-1 on Western Madison, slow it down. 4712.
Yeah, spot out.
Units in 3 and citywide, we got a person with a gun, 6901 South Paxton. It's a male, black male. Units in 7 and citywide, getting a person with a gun, 5500 South Wells.
4680 Adam.
4608.
It was a nice we were at that.
Alright, and 4680 Adam.
4712.
Alright, again, you're responding to the 10-1 on Madison and Western, a complete disregard. A complete disregard, please, for Madison and Western.
7387 Adam.
7387 Adam.
Yes, Clay, can I have two numbers on Turnstile and platform, the blue line, Logan Square?
The plate, Wisconsin, police plate, 384.
Alright, so 09198, and then for the platform, 09201. 3212. Yeah, what time does this fire job come in?
At 17. 1132 units and 11 citywide are in progress. 3942 West Roosevelt at the Shell gas station. 3942 West Roosevelt at the Shell. Caller stating that the store staff came out with a stick threatening him. The caller is irate and screaming, not answering questions. Another call taken this time. Nothing further. Zone 10, District 11.
3212.
3212.
Yes, ma'am. I want to go ahead and do the paper on this. So I'm going to the annex, and 14 is going to stay with the owner and with the vehicle.
Alright, 10-4. I got you going in on paper, and I got 14 on scene with the owner of the vehicle. Thank you.
What's the 4 Nora?
04 Nora.
I don't need a vent for upper lower structure, 96 in the red.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I got a black one on right now.
SubX.News on the spot reporting. We're pulling up to Madison and Western. Police officer had an accident over, so we're going to see what's going on here. Again, we're pulling up to an accident here, Madison and Western. I don't know, we're going to get close to it. Yeah, they got Western shut down. See that there? Madison and Western here. Somebody wrecked, right? We got you.
7-3,
Again, a police officer had a car accident over here, so we're going to see what's going on here, right? Madison and Western, they called it 10-1.
Alright, it's 09033, 09033.
Dude, really? You gonna block me in, dude? Really? Man, that's some nasty stuff, man. Again, 10-1, a car accident here. A police officer got into a car accident.
Okay, 10-4. I got you headed over there.
Brother, man, you need to move your car, man. Some people just don't know how to drive.
3214.
3214.
Do you have an estimate ETA for the car that was on fire on Lakeshore Drive for the immediate assault?
No, I could give him a call and see.
Thanks.
There you go.
7-3, 7373.
Two event numbers, upper and lower, 69 right.
Police car hit the median there.
Alright, upper 09080, 09080, lower 09082, 09082.
7386 Adam. 4680 Adam.
Man, I lost my head.
4680 Adam. I arrived on scene for this one.
You arrived on scene 4. Is this you as the person?
86 Adam.
86 Adam.
Check to the red, upper and lower.
Alright, upper 09093, 09093, lower 09095, 09095, and 3214. So wait, he's trying to get through the traffic. They also have a tow truck coming too to start out well, so it doesn't get the
4680 Adam again.
4680 Adam.
Yeah, for trucks that are coming or any SWAT arriving, they can exit the Kennedy at Kugler and then head southbound.
Oh man, that's a bad one there.
And that's where the station is.
Smashed into that viaduct over there, right?
Alright, Bernie's
There's
going to
some,
head over to the spot. If you exit the Kennedy, Costner, head southbound. Staging is going to be at
6:08 p.m. December 29th, 2025. This is a 10-1 police officer needed assistance. You see he crashed into the median here. We're at Western and Madison. We're a little south of Madison. There you go. See that there? SubX.News on the spot reporting.
Location near the alley. Offender is in the vicinity. The friend is going to be a Mercedes-Benz female black color. Vehicle is orange, needs not both. Weapons, the gun not displayed but threatens to harm or use the firearm. Drinking, yes. Drugs, no, not the further zone. 6 clear. Better in progress. 448 was placed on the 1. Details of hit him in the face.
I gotta see what's the back of that thing look like that, right?
Step 5 and hit him.
Strange, that guy's blocking that car, man. That 8413. Right? See that car right there? That don't make no sense. Man, they got a lot of cops here. See that there? Okay, I'm trying to get the number of that squad there is what I'm doing.
Madison and Western Bridge, 1 and 2 lower details to follow. CFD is rolling up further.
9564, it looks like.
09146. And if anybody's close by Western and Madison, we're getting this 10-1 over there.
Squad 9564 hit the median over here on Madison and Western. Huh? Citizen. What's your handle?
Chicago Grounds.
Chicago Grounds, SubX.News. Okay, nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you, bro. Yeah. I was literally right in front of it when it happened.
What happened? They drove over it or what?
This guy must have got a call. This young guy was like a young Mexican cop. He must have got a call, bro. And he was probably where that cop was at right there.
Huh?
He got the call, lit up his lights, and he just fucking sped right into that block, right into the center divider, dude.
Man, if you had that, you would be on Critter, bro. You'd be bigger than Critter. You watch Critter, right? You watch Critter, right?
The car fucking flew. Maybe from where it's parked.
What's your handle, bro?
Chicago Grounds. I'm showing you right here.
There you go, man. What's your name, man? Chicago Grounds, TikTok. There you go, man. Why don't you get on this page there? Look at that, man. He's got everything, man.
Where this car is landed, it jumped from the impact to that landing, so it was just a big pop.
Oh, so you seen it?
I was right in front of it.
Oh man, that wasn't, man. You should have had your phone on.
The only thing that was missing, brother, was Dominic Toretto.
Man, you'd have 1 billion hits by now, bro.
Dominic Toretto, that's all I
It's one of those, damn, I wish I had my camera on, right?
Recorder on my car because I was in my lady's vehicle.
Well, look, at least you didn't get hurt.
No, that's what I was telling the cop. I got out.
Can we go over there? They're not going to bother me if I go over there.
They were being mean earlier, but...
Yeah.
No, you're good.
Alright. Yeah, it ain't a murder, right?
It looks like it, though. I don't even think they come by this quick for a murder.
Alright, tell the people what's your TikTok handle so they get to your page.
Jair Castanon.
There you go, man.
My handle is Chicago Browns.
There you go, man.
I got a good little video, a little jiu-jitsu video. I got some good hits, but
there you go.
I decided, you know what, I'll record this because I've been wanting to record stuff here in the city. But yeah, that guy was being real mean, that fucking cop.
And hit the meeting over here on Western, little south of Madison. About 6 p.m. December 29, 2025.
What do you got going on? I didn't even ask you.
So that's Facebook.
Okay.
That's Citizen, and then I'm just posting a video.
And what'd you say your handle was?
SubX.News.
SubX.News, that's a good one.
Just punch in SubX.
Yeah, that's quick.
Yeah, just simple stuff. I used to do reporting for a guy, and now I do this stuff.
Oh, yeah?
I haven't figured out how to make money yet. Whatever.
At least you're having fun.
Yeah, and that's how life is. Isn't that what they say? Do what you want to do, and maybe the money comes later, maybe not, who knows. So what do? You do jiu-jitsu and martial arts?
I'm a roofer.
I'm
a commercial roofer, like blue-collar guy, but just trying to, make another identity from what I do for a living.
Yeah.
Other than that,
what's up, fellas? What's up, man? You didn't do that, did you, man? Yeah, man. He's seen it all. He'll tell you what happened.
Yeah, got a call or something.
Alright, then. A dark blue line to eastbound on the 298 what?
He did like a wheelie and shit.
38435.
In that car, bro.
Who did that? Nobody did nothing to him. It was just normal traffic. And then we caught the order underway. Take his ass out and grab him. I ain't gonna lie. If you would have got behind me, I would have dusted his ass.
See you, fellas. Hey, have a good New Year, guys. They get all.
But the cop was really young, so
yeah.
she was probably just trying to do the right thing, and he gunned it. You heard his engine too. You heard his engine rev, and then
Well, he might be.
you heard the pop.
There we go, man. Oh man, that's the fluid leaking out of it, ain't it? That's the transmission fluid, right?
I don't know how deep the pan is, but that's for sure the pan that.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
He took the whole block. The whole. That thing probably weighs like 2 tons.
There you go. You see that there? SubX.News. Look at that, man.
Up in lower where?
What is that? Oh, that's the news helicopter, right? Maybe it might be the police chopper. SubX.News. I'm on TikTok.
Okay.
I'm on TikTok. There we go. I'm on there, man.
Legit. Street precinct. Like he's playing Pokemon Go or something.
No, I don't do that, man.
No, there's a Chinese guy that has like 7,000 phones.
Oh, yeah? I'm missing one. I need one more, but I gotta make some way to hold them and stuff, man.
You gotta get that.
You stick or something and like double it up. You know what I'm talking?
For sure, get a chest piece and then a stick. So
that's what I'm thinking.
The handle's 2.
Yeah, I'm trying, but I can't do live on TikTok. I don't have enough followers yet.
I don't either.
Huh?
But what I have is like a jiu-jitsu video that has like 100,000.
Oh man, look at that! You got what camera do you have? Because mine are all fogging. What brand is that?
It's an iPhone.
Oh, I need to get me one. Look at that, man. Man, look at that oiling. Man, look at mine's all cheap ass shit. Mine's like channel 26, and yours is like Comcast and shit. That dude jumped the curb over there, man.
Bro went straight to the center divider.
He went airborne and shit,
he
man.
hit that motherfucker like 20 miles an hour. Accelerating speed. Okay?
Yeah, I think so.
He walked off, no blood or nothing. He's straight. Yeah, thankfully.
There you go.
I know somebody stepped on that oil.
There you go, man. See that all that oil out there, man? Look at
The whole
that.
pan. That thing's toast.
You know, I got a winch on my truck, man. I'll pull them out.
Dude, when it happened, like 6 tow trucks pulled up immediately.
What, and they didn't pull them off?
I think they have to wait for a state issued.
There you go.
Or a
See the oil
issued,
coming out?
tow truck.
You guys see the oil coming out, right? Yeah, I got a winch on mine. I'll pull them off. Why not?
Squad, can you show 4692 Adam responding to that squad job, please?
See you, brother. See you on the internet. There's a lot of oil coming out of that car. See that there? Madison and Western.
For the upper and 9345 for the lower.
I gotta go in my car. My fingers are frozen, man. There's a lot of oil coming out of that squad over here on Western Avenue, a little south of Madison. A lot of oil coming out of that car over here on Western, a little south of Madison. Oh, my fingers are frozen. Gotta get back in my car. I got a winch, man. You guys want me to pull it? I got a winch, man. Ooh, my fingers are frozen. That's what I don't like about the cold. We can sit here and see what happens if you want in my car when I warm up. Yeah, we need to warm my fingers up there. I got some hot coffee too.
31 on Citywide. Hey, there was an emergency button pressed on my end. I did clear it over Citywide before you copy.
Yes, it is.
So that's the car right there, you see it? Let's see when we'll wait till they sort out of here. How about that? Whew! And we were right here, huh?
Thank you, and I appreciate it.
That car is smashed there, see that? SubX.News Live. That's the car that smashed into that median there. Right, there you go. I guess they gotta wait for a special tow truck. I don't know. I got a winch, so, but if they want that.
Eleven, 12 units and 11 units on Citywide. Person with a knife, Chicago and Harding in Chicago. Male black has a knife, punch in the face. Last name wearing gray and black North Face jacket, brown pants. Last name heading eastbound in the alley. Still coming in. Details to follow. Nothing further. District 11, Zone 10 clear.
They open up traffic. I'll pull that sucker out, but I guess they gotta wait for the tow truck, an official one. Huh? I'd like to park over there so we can have a better view of it. You can sit in the car till the truck comes, right? Maybe. SubX.News on the spot reporting. Oh, yeah, let's have some coffee. How about that? There you go. We were first close to the scene, right?
can I get in for upper and lower and Halstead, please? And Charlie is with us.
Never know what you're gonna get when you do this stuff, huh?
Up to 09397, 09397, down 09402.
Thank you.
Lucky we turned on the radio, didn't we? What happened? It happened around 6, didn't it? SubX.News.
Adam.
7385 Adam.
The platform check numbers, 95th red line, upper, lower, north, and south.
You want 4?
Ma'am.
Alright, so north up is 09422. North down is 09425.
7389.
Stand by 89, boy.
Well, can I get 2 numbers?
I said stand. I said stand by.
Cooking my pizza here. I got a pizza here. See, now I got a pizza right there. I'm gonna eat. See when the tow truck comes, huh?
On that one.
09433.
Too much.
7386.
I got two numbers, one number, one was for Howard and Redline, please.
Is it Howard or Harlem?
Howard.
Up is 09437. Down is 09441.
73, sorry, David. The number is for Roosevelt Red Line station and platform. Thank you.
That's all. Alright. So the station 09447. Platform is 09448.
4905.
49 David 5.
Separate Squad, can you give me the number for UAS Agent Adam Charlie at 4350 West Collins Place at the spot incident?
Hold on 1 second, 49 David 5. David 5, event number 09461.
I'll be Lincoln. 7363.
You go around there, I'll show you what we're going to do.
7363.
7363.
Yes, ma'am. Can you that number for transporting special employment to Roosevelt? You're red.
Oh, it's wrecked, man. That car is wrecked.
09466.
We're going to sit right here about that. Yeah, that car is wrecked. See that there? Oh, he missed it. We'll sit over here, we'll wait till the tow truck comes over here. Smashed up police car right there.
Adam.
7389 Adam.
So can I get a couple numbers for Jackson West?
So he ran into that.
09445.
He just missed it. See that there? mean, he's not stuck. I thought he might have been stuck on the median, but he's not. All his wheels are down, it looks like. We're on the west side, by the way, if you don't know. You're just tuning in, that car.
South Progress 5342 North California for 60. Caller is a 61-year-old female. She said that someone stays upstairs from her and threatened her at the location. District 20, Zone 11 is there.
If you're just tuning in, that squad car hit that median there. And it looks like his oil pan is crushed. Don't know how he hit it. Maybe it was coming from here, or if he tried to make a U-turn. But the guy that we were talking to from TikTok, he said it was going pretty fast and he hit it. So maybe he was coming out of this side street.
94, boy.
7394, boy.
Rod, can we get 2 numbers at Roosevelt, please? I'll bring the lower.
Up 09498. Down is 09501.
94, Charlie, 94, boy.
7394, boy. You said something else?
94, Charlie, 7394, boy.
Okay.
Unit 25 in Citywide. We're getting a battery in progress at 4918 West Concord Place. Female black last name wearing a black coat and a male black last name wearing a black coat with reflectors are fighting in front. They live across the street from this address. No weapon seen. Nothing further. Zone 12 clear.
That number of transporting POs to Jackson Red Line, please.
That number is 09522, 09522.
Thanks.
I don't know what they're waiting for over here. At least they opened up the road. They're not blocking the whole area up, right? Are we just tuning in? That guy hit the median there. He completely missed it. Oh, and he's leaking oil all over Western Avenue there. We'll sit here, wait, see what happens, right? It's getting cold out, by the way.
$7373.
Lunch at 115th and West.
Enjoy. If you need deviant 09535, 09535.
What was that? It was this event, right?
Unison 3 citywide battery in progress 69th and South Chicago is a CTA bus. CTA driver on bus 1191 calls to report 2 males smoking on the bus. Before he hung up, the driver started screaming, mentioned that he was being attacked. District 3 zone 7 clear.
5700 Adam. Zero guys coming in. Negative.
Adam.
Sorry, which Adam unit coming in?
5700 Adam, a quick question. Is zone 19 working, district 19 working in zone 2 or not?
They working on zone 11.
Thank you. Charlie.
7385 Charlie.
Number sure the red line at 79 point.
79, you want 1 or 2?
2.
Up 09584. It's going to be 09585.
7387 Adam.
7387 Adam.
Number, please turn south, platform, a blue line, and O'Hare, please.
Alright, ready to get out of here?
Platform at O'Hare is going to be 09588, 09588.
7394 Charlie.
We'll go around and we'll continue on Madison a little bit, right? We'll go back up to Lake Street, right?
Hey, it turns out on these 095 7395 Charlie, maybe?
7394 Charlie. Can I get your number that stayed on Lake? Brad, up the line.
Alright. 7394 Charlie. Your upper is going to be 09598, lower 09601.
When I start moving it, he heats up a little bit.
northbound I-57 and 156th Street line over to Frank Roberts 79200. Wanted for 10
northbound I-57 at 155th. And give me that plate one more time.
Frank Roberts 79200.
Citywide units here, northbound I-57 at 155th Street in Silver Kia, Frank Roberts 79200, this is carjacking.
And that's just for Coast Guard will be on it.
Thank you.
Carjacking just happened. Everybody heard that? It just carjacking just came.
7387 Charlie.
7387 Charlie.
Good evening. Can I get a vet number? Platform. Logan Square, Blue Light.
H1.
Yeah, just for northbound I-57 at 155th Street, rise on Silver Kia. Frank Roberts 79200. So I wanted for a 10 hijack and see the just so citywide units now.
Alright, northbound I-57 at 155th. Alright, 7394 Charlie. Your upper is gonna be
carjacking.
0998, lower 09601.
H1.
H1.
Yeah, just for northbound I-57 at 155th Street, rise on Silver Kia. Frank Roberts 79200. So I wanted for a 10 hijack and see the just so citywide units now.
Alright, northbound I-57 at 155th. And give me that plate one more time.
Frank Roberts 79200.
Alright. Any citywide units here? Northbound I-57 at 155th Street is Silver Kia, Frank Roberts 79200. Wanted for carjacking.
And that's just for Coast Guard will be on it.
Thank you. Yeah, northbound I-57 at 155th Street, Silver Kia, Frank Roberts 79200. 45620.
7387 Charlie.
7387 Charlie.
Good evening. Can I get a vet number? Platform. Logan Square, Blue Light.
Logan Square, Blue, on the platform 09625.
And PH1?
PH1.
And for opposing vehicles now through 127, 557 northbound.
Northbound at 127th Street. Again, if any units from the citywide will be that. PH1 tracking the vehicle. Frank Roberts 79200. Silver Kia. Northbound at
7383 Adam.
7383 Adam.
Wow,
we got two event numbers of the red line, north, 95th north side, one for the platform, one for the station.
10-4, take event number 09652, 09652. Your second event, take 09655, 09655. Again, for any units from the city residents, be advised, each one's tracking a vehicle, Frank Robert 79200, Silver Kia, northbound I-57 out of 127th Street, one request such as hijack.
7383 Adam.
7383 Adam.
Well, man, we got two event numbers of the red line, north, 95th north side, one for the platform, one for the station.
10-4, take event number 09652, 09652. Your second event, take 09655, 09655.
4600.
Try again.
4600.
4600, go ahead, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Did you get the update for the flight incident 17 years? Suspect is in custody. We discovered him for mental health transport.
10-4, we got it.
PH1.
PH1.
Yeah, the Silver Kia is now 91st Street northbound there, Ryan.
95th Street northbound 5, left lane.
And the sedan, the tail lights make like an upside down L, so there's a spot.
10-4, northbound, on the Ryan now. There's I see what's the vehicle or follow by the vehicle?
They are tactically positioned. No one's behind. That's what you're asking. There's 79 northbound.
Charlie.
Hey, Charlie, for the best number, train right, blue light, northbound from
You broke up. Northbound from where? It's going to be event number 09696.
33944.
7394.
Can we get two numbers at State Lake? Off on the lower, please.
Up. 09707 down. 09711.
Maybe northbound LaSalle. Stay northbound LaSalle.
Northbound on LaSalle.
That's a carjacked car. It's right behind us. It's all the way in downtown, though, on LaSalle. That's where that shooting was.
Again, it's northbound at LaSalle. It's the silver Kia Frank Roberts 792. Westbound en route now. Switching the zone.
For David.
4464 David?
Yes, squad 4464 David. Can you log off 4462 Charlie for me?
Yep, go for it.
Thanks, you're the best.
Number 389.
7389.
Sweet, red numbers, please. Red light, power, number 4.
Give this guy a sticker here. Here's the stickers from the event, my brother. Okay. See you next year, all right? What are you guys gonna do anything this year or what?
I think we're planning something.
If you hook up with Mikey from Humble Park Jeeps, you know that. Have you ever get on their page?
Yeah, that's my man.
Yeah, he does all kinds of crazy stuff. We did a take when we did that one. We took over Lakeshore Drive. He does one in the summer too.
Summertime.
Yeah, he takes over. He does a lot of night drives too.
I like night drives.
Yeah, we'll do some. Man, we do some West Side one or something out here, or maybe the suburbs or something. Yeah, all right. Good seeing you, man. If I don't see you, have a good New Year. I wanted to give you those stickers, my brother, okay?
Thank you, man.
Be safe, all right? Happy New Year. I can fix stuff too. I think it's stuck, or maybe I checked the fluid or something. If it keeps acting up, then I'll bring it in. I don't need you for everything. Let's keep moving, huh? That's my Jeep guy there, so. do a little west side ride and see what's going on, and we're gonna hit the sack. I think it was enough excitement seeing a wrecked car, right? Oh man, there's a bunch of guys out here. Not that many. A couple. The regulars. Like I always say, give them a spot. Give them a spot, man. If they need to do their thing and get high or whatever they're gonna do, give them a spot, man. That's all I can say, man. It's the city is just not this. The city. I don't think the city is fair. And that's just some news here, right? 7 o'clock news. Maybe we'll hear some new stuff here, right? They usually do national news at the top of the hour.
We're even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
You take your family out to a fancy steakhouse for the holidays and run up a bill of $500. A profitable tab for the restaurant, right? CBS's Christopher Cruz says it is not.
A high-end steakhouse in Chicago would make just $25 profit on that $500 meal. The Wall Street Journal says the restaurant's cost for that meal for food and alcohol will total $190, labor $175, and $110 on rent. What's left? $25. The restaurant is paying 40% more for steaks this year than last. One reason? Cattle herds are the smallest they've been since the 1950s. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
The New York City transit system is retiring the Metro card after more than 30 years. The gold and blue swipeable card was introduced in 1994 to replace the subway token, which had been used for half a century. The last sales and refills on Metro cards will be this Wednesday. The MTA is fully transitioning to a contactless payment system. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
It's you. Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
It's 7:05 on Monday, December 29th, 2025. Good evening. I'm Renita Young. It's chilly in Chicago under cloudy skies. Tonight we'll see clouds and some flurries around early, otherwise turning out partly cloudy and bitterly cold. We'll see a low of 11 degrees, but the real field temperatures will drop below 0. Tomorrow we'll see a brisk and cold day. Some sun giving way to clouds with some snow and flurries in the afternoon and evening. Little or no accumulation though. The high will be 27. The low will drop to 23. We'll check out the AccuWeather 5-day forecast in 10 minutes. But first, our top local story on News Radio WBBM. The owners of liquor stores around Chicago are asking City Hall for more time to get in line with a shift in how alcohol taxes are collected. WBBM political editor Jeff Buckles reports from City Hall.
The new year represents an opportunity to start fresh, begin new traditions, and in the city of Chicago, the scheduled launch for a change in how the city collects taxes from liquor stores and other businesses that sell beer, wine, and spirits to be enjoyed at home. The budget approved by aldermen calls for the city to switch from a per-gallon tax on alcoholic beverages to a new tax on the sale price starting Thursday.
The January 1st effective date will be a debacle.
That's Pat Dorr. He represents liquor stores and other alcohol sellers in the city. He says because the city has not yet spelled out rules for computing the tax, the change will go over like a surprise shot of Malort. He's asking for at least a month to comply and says January is actually perfect for that.
It is traditionally the slowest month of the year for the beverage, alcohol, beer, wine, and spirits industry.
In part because of dry January. There's no comment yet from the city. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
Chicago is getting ready to ring in the new year, and city leaders say they're doing everything they can to make sure it's safe, a safe celebration, and including for young people.
Mayor Brandon Johnson says one of the best ways to keep people safe on New Year's, especially young people, is simple family communication.
Parents, talk to your children about their plans.
and help them identify a safe place where they can go if they get separated from the group in a safe route home.
Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling.
If you are under the age of 18, you should not be in the downtown area after curfew without being accompanied by an adult. So please, once again, parents, let you know where your kids are, because our officers will be out there to make sure that everyone is safe in this city.
The city curfew is 10 p.m. for people ages 12 to 17 without a parent or adult, and 8:30 p.m. for children under the age of 12 without a parent or adult. Terry Keschner, 105.9 WBBM.
It's 7:08 with traffic and weather together on the 8th, sponsored by AlmostFreeTeeth.com. There's some heavy traffic persisting on the inbound Kennedy. Here's Lisa Costi with more.
Yes, the outbound side is great. It's 15 minutes out to O'Hare. It's inbound. You are jammed in from Irving Park to Ogden, 23 minutes in from O'Hare to the Jane Byrne, 17 from the Junction. Express lanes flowing outbound, same as the local, so take your pick. No problems on the I-190 O'Hare extension. The Eisenhower looking great, 31 minutes in from the Jane Addams to the Jane Byrne, 13 from Manheim, 31 going back out to I-90. The Stevenson also looking wonderful for you. 25 minutes in from I-355 to DeSable Lakeshore Drive. You're 17 from the Tri-State, 25 going back out to the Veterans. No problems on I-55 in Will County. The Dan Ryan also looking smooth. So is I-57. The Bishop Ford, 13 minutes in from 8094 to the Dan Ryan. Then going back out. No problems on Route 394. DeSable Lakeshore Drive. You're heavy approaching Chicago Avenue in both directions. The Jane Addams, the Reagan, the Veterans all checking in nicely. Northwest Indiana, you're doing great too. The only real trouble on the tollways is the Tri-State and just your slow approaching Ogden. Traffic is sponsored by AlmostFreeTeeth.com. Why pay more? At AlmostFreeTeeth.com, you can save up to 95% on full mouth implants. A brand new smile is finally within reach. Visit AlmostFreeTeeth.com today. Your next traffic at 7:18 on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The AccuWeather forecast calls for a low tonight of 11 degrees, but the real feels will make it feel like it's below zero. Tomorrow, we're looking at brisk and cold weather, some sun giving way to clouds, some snow flurries, but not enough to really accumulate. The high will be 27 and the low tomorrow 23. Right now at O'Hare, it's 19 degrees, and at the lakefront, it's 21 degrees. Coming up next, the News Watch continues at 7:10.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you have a plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Call Trajan today, 630-230-7400. That's 630-230-7400.
Annuities, not advisory products. DBA Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
It's 7:11. 4 people are now charged after a teen's gun discharged during an arrest by Chicago police on the southwest side over the weekend.
Police say a woman called 911 shortly after 3:30 p.m. Saturday because a man had pointed a gun at her from a car during a fight. Officers located that car near 71st and Lawndale in the West Lawn neighborhood and arrested the 17-year-old driver. During that arrest, a second 17-year-old boy ran off, and as officers tried to arrest him, the gun he was carrying discharged while concealed in his clothing. Police say no one was hit and no injuries were reported. The 2 17-year-old boys face multiple charges. The 17-year-old girl and a 29-year-old are also facing charges of resisting a police officer. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
As restaurants gear up for the New Year's Eve celebrations, industry experts say the key to enjoying the night is understanding how different it is from a typical night out.
Unlike a regular evening, New Year's Eve service is intentionally paced, and that can catch some diners off guard.
You know, the goal of New Year's Eve is not to get the customer to move on.
They want to pace things along the line so you're enjoying the entire meal and the experience. But sometimes there's a disconnect.
Izzy Karish, president of Hospitality Works, joined the noon business hour and says while meals may take longer, many restaurants offer prefix menus that can be a strong value for guests.
And it's usually one of the best deals of the year. You're going to have great choices, a lot of great steaks, seafood, lobster.
His advice for diners: plan ahead, allow extra time, and embrace the slower pace. New Year's Eve, he says, is about the experience, not rushing the clock. Rachel Pearson, News Radio, 105.9 WBDM.
From endless road repairs to higher fares, your commute keeps changing. Count on us to track every delay and every increase. With traffic and weather together on the 8s and dedicated reporting, your Chicago commuting companion is News Radio 105.9 WBDM. We'll be right back with the AccuWeather 5-day forecast at 7:13.
Proud to be named the 2025 Station of the Year by the Illinois Broadcasters Association.
All right, we're going to check this spot out. You see there's a bunch of people out here, right there on the warmth over there, it looks like. They're up there. See that there? There's one guy right there with his wheelchair. Remember, I figured that walker thing out after a little while. So why are these people with walkers? Well, because they get high and they just roll around, right? That's why. Let's fix this up real quick. Like that. There we go. Oh man, that's a lot better, ain't it? There you go. Gonna have to wash that window one of these days. Is that inside or outside?
Make the call now. Call 800-955-0657. 800-955-0657. 800-955-0657.
Outside, right? There you go. It's going away, right? Let's go check out the spot. How bad is it back here, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to wash the inside, it looks like. Let's try this. This place is busy, see that? Gotta watch out, we don't want to get boxed in there, right? Let me lock my doors. Through there. See that guy, how he blocks you in there? They're doing a deal over there.
Little or no accumulation. Tomorrow's high around 27. Mostly cloudy later tomorrow night, around 23. Cloudy, breezy, cold on Wednesday and weather. Around with some light snow in the afternoon. Evening shift and could hurt the ground in a few spots. Wednesday's high near 30 for New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, Thursday was a lot colder. The first on the 18th. Still holding Friday with some sunshine.
They thought I was a cop, right? That guy will be back around.
WBDM News time at 7:16, which means it's time for sports tonight. We have a game that just started with the Chicago Bulls versus the Minnesota Timberwolves right here in Chicago. And for more, here's our Rick Gregg.
Immediately after Sunday's 42-38 Bears loss in San Francisco, safety Kevin Byard raised his hand to reporters.
Score 42 points was a winning game, so you put that game on the defense for sure.
But on Monday, after a flight home and some time to think, head coach Ben Johnson pulled that defense off the hook.
I didn't feel like our offense did our part in the first half.
You know, we did not possess the ball. We had a couple 3 and outs. You know, you look at our defense, they got a pick 6, they got a couple punts, and if we blow up in the red zone, I think we feel better about the performance.
Red zone, third down, fundamentals, the words coming from Johnson, who was also very clear the Bears are playing to win on Sunday, not resting starters and letting their playoff seed come down to how Philadelphia performs. A Bear win over the Lions or an Eagle loss to Washington locks the Bears in the 2 seed and sets up a rematch with the Packers in the playoffs. Otherwise, they'll sit third and face someone from the
I gotta
NFC
start
West.
the video again
No
because
update
it's
from
too
Johnson
long.
about any injured Bears. This update from